Hi, can you hear me? Hello, what's up? It is me. Hi, everybody. Hi. It is Tuesday. Can you hear me? Hear me okay? Hello, everybody. I am live on Twitch. I am live on YouTube. Oh my gosh, we're set up. Everything is good to go. Today we're talking about sustainable fashion. We're talking about environmentalism and social justice. And I'm so excited to be here. I'm Ellie. And yes, today is news day, Tuesday news day. I copied it from someone. I wonder who. I want to say hi to chat first. Guys, I'm really tired, so just wave. Hi Newbie, hi Kay, hi Moon, hi Josie. Newbie has reached a 5 stream streak. What the heck? What the heck? Thank you so much for watching. What? Guys, why are you watching me right now? I'm really grateful for my Twitch watchers, and if you're on YouTube, just know that the words you're reading is from Twitch. I do want to give a clue into what we're going to be talking about today, because I know people are busy and I always feel guilty, and I'm like, I don't want people to feel obligated to just kind of like be in my stream without knowing what I'm doing. So a preview. Today we're going to be talking about some DIY upcycling projects I'm going to be doing just for fun. I learned about phalo bracelets. I've never heard of this before. So I'm going to look into this a bit. Thank you, chatters. Josie, you got one. Mohaha. We're going to talk about how New Balance has a new garden in their factory in the UK. This factory has been operating for quite a while now. I was actually surprised to hear about it. I never knew that factory workers had gardens. But yeah, factory workers apparently have gardens, but I think it's a PR scheme, so we'll explore that. We're going to explore how eBay has acquired Depop. I love both eBay and Depop. I resell on that. On both of them, actually. So this is kind of like a confusing thing for me, because if they're both competitors, why would eBay acquire Depop? So there's a bunch of news, a bunch of things that we'll explore, try to analyze why this even happened in the first place. We're going to talk about how there is a bunch of Republican people being bullies against Latina power merch within this Smithsonian, if I can say that word. A very interesting case. There is so much more in this. So these are just previews. I'm just giving you a clue into what you're going to be watching. H&M has actually opened up a store in Seogsu. I don't know how to say that. But we're going to look at that store, analyze why that's happening, because H&M doesn't really have like artistic stores. We're going to be exploring how there's an exhibition showcasing Chicano artists and musicians and just very cool people there. Oh, we're going to talk about how conservatives don't like Care Bears. The crazy things happening. We're going to be talking about how AI is also destroying books, but copying the material before they destroy it. And yeah, more AI stuff, and then some things about Hassan and the socialism conference that I really want to go to that's happening in Chicago. But yeah, that's kind of like it for this stream. That is a good preview. If you're watching on YouTube, you have the Canva link in the description. So if you want to zoom through, get all the links, all the extra information, it's there. And if you want this link, Twitch, just ask me and I'll drop it in the Twitch chat. But how is everybody doing? It is Tuesday. I feel like it's a Saturday for me. But I'm just going to do like a personal little time here, because I feel like things can become very impersonal very fast when you talk about the news, or you start to get more serious about discussions around social justice or even environmentalism. But I like to be critical. I like to be serious, but I also like to be me. So I wish to not lose myself in this journey, so I like to just talk about myself. I'm not a narcissist. I just like to share my life so you guys can hopefully resonate, because I'm just a normal person that works a lot and then I jump on stream. But how is everybody's Tuesday doing? I've been talking a lot with Josie today. I've been talking a lot with Carrie. I've been talking a lot with Newbie on Discord. If you want to join this Discord, guys, you should join it. It's super freaking fun. I think it's actually kept me a bit more awake during the day, because I used to just like be half asleep, and I would just watch a bunch of streams and not really text anyone back. And once I made this Discord, I was like, oh my gosh, like these people are fun. They have a lot of similar interests. So I'm actually responding back and like talking to you guys. Carrie says you might be here for a bit, but might dip because your brain is hurting. Oh, okay. That's totally fine. Carrie is my mod on Twitch. She's not feeling the best, which is understandable. I mean, I feel like my head has been everywhere today too. It's just been not on. But this is going to be like a... Oh, I'm trying to pull something up. The voices, I'm trying to like pull something up, but yeah, I totally feel that. I feel like this Tuesday has been a Saturday for me. I don't want to come across too tired, but I am human, guys. I don't know how people just continuously have energy for everything in life all the freaking time. That is a talent. That is such a freaking talent. Here, I'm going to drop the Discord link in the chat. If you have not joined the Discord, I will put it in the Discord right now. Put it in the chat right now. Let me just type with one finger, because I need a mic stand. This is becoming an issue. Okay. Okay, this should work, and then I'll pin it as well. I just need to copy and paste it for YouTube. Dude, I have so many YouTube lurkers, and they never chat. What is wrong with you guys? Why do you do this to me? Okay. Alright. Join the Discord if you want, guys. It is in both chats. Don't be weird. Join. Okay. Guys, I have a list of stuff that I want to share. I don't have a lot of stuff happening in my personal life because I work from 10 to 6 almost every day. And then I stream from like 7 to 9 or 7 to 10. So I'm constantly just busy. But I'm just like working. Guys, I get paid $16. Oh god, that is not dookie. That is dirt. Ew. I need to put a sticker over that. Ew, that looks bad. Ew, no. Okay, that's a great start. That's a great start. That's actually a great start. But yeah, I worked from 10 to 6. That was my work hours today. Guess how much they would pay me each hour? They pay me $16.50 to work at that miserable job. It's an office job, basically. And I don't know how people survive off of that little of money. It's just crazy to me how we're expected to thrive on very little pay. And I was just in a miserable mood today. But what gets me excited is I'm planning my first IRL stream. I keep teasing this. I keep saying, oh my gosh, I'm going to do IRL streams. It's going to happen soon. But, dude, I cannot see myself doing it tomorrow. I said I would do it tomorrow. I just can't see myself doing it. So maybe on Saturday, because the next day that I have off is Saturday. The next time I have off is Saturday. So Wednesday, most likely I'll film a YouTube video. I was actually typing up like a bunch of answers to questions so you guys can get to know me better. And then Saturday, maybe we can do the Goodwill bin. That can be like my first IRL stream. We can go to the bins. It'll be fun. So I'm working up to it. Also, I do want to say that I want to make these news streams more often. I think this is really where I thrive. This is like where I feel the most comfortable. And why I'm so hard on myself that I'm tired. Like today I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired, I'm so tired, I'm so tired. But I typically feel like this. It's just because I love the news stream so much and I want to be so locked in and give like the best takeaways. I get like very hypercritical about myself, and then I realize how I'm actually so tired, but I'm just like this all the time. But I want to perform so well in these streams and I love them so much. So I'm going to do Tuesdays and Thursdays for news streams. And this is what I started off with. This is like why I even got the courage to stream. Like I didn't stream because I wanted to game. I didn't stream because I wanted people to like me. I just genuinely wanted to talk about the news. And even if I stuttered or even if like the internet buffered, like my first streams, all I wanted to do was to talk about the things I just previewed to you guys in the beginning of the stream. Um, I think it's just so important that we continue to be informed, that we continue to ask questions, to continue to be analytical, I guess, about the current state of the world. Because if we're not like looking into things, if we're not like critiquing it or considering points, I feel like it's easier to become apathetic. It's easier to like forget things happen. So I am just merely covering a couple of things. I'm like only covering a very little of what's happening in the world. And most of the things that I'm going to talk about already happened days ago or like a week ago. Um, so if anything, I just kind of like want to open discussion. I always remind people every single time that I do these streams, these new streams, I am not an expert. I don't think anyone is an expert in anything. I feel like we're all constantly evolving. If you say that you're an expert, if you say you have a PhD, great, that's fine. That's amazing, beautiful. But like, I'm a streamer. I'm behind a PC, I'm behind a camera. Like, I am just a person that's normal, that's questioning a lot of things and hoping people also participate and ask questions and realizes that people can be messy, people can be imperfect, and still like come together and like talk about these things. Hi Kay, welcome. So yeah, that is what keeps me going. It keeps me going. Um, but talking about imperfections about myself, I have wanted to do Depop reselling for 4 weeks now, like maybe 2 months now, since I started my new job, and I have not been able to wake up early. If you're not aware, I want to resell on Depop. That's my goal, to become a reseller. I do not want to like get rich off of reselling. That's actually kind of impossible because you have to upload a lot, work a lot to like make a very little profit. So my goal though is to wake up earlier so I can take photos. My goal is to take like photos of 20 items each morning, and then I list those things during my job hours because I don't really do much on my job, so I can multitask, right? So I list the Depop stuff during my real office job, and then after work I can like either find the things that have sold throughout the day, pack things up, and then take them to the post office during my lunch because I have a 30-minute lunch hour, from like 1 to 1:30 during the day, so I can just drive over. It's like a 5-minute drive. I was actually doing really good with Depop, to be totally honest. I hope you guys liked the different vibe today. I am a bit more serious. I am going to be chatting a lot, so if you're not up to it, I totally understand. You can tune in and out if you want, but I'm just a little bit more serious today. Sorry if this is like disorienting from other streams, but I went last time that I was really locked in with Depop, I was making about $500 every month from Depop, and that may not sound a lot, but if you don't have a lot of money, for me it was huge. That's how I paid my student loans for a couple months. That's how I was able to pay for like my cell phone bill and stuff. And I had just started locking in, and I was barely selling very little. So imagine if I actually got up early, I started listing, I started like packing orders and like taking stuff that I have sold to the post office during my lunch hour. Like, I think I can make more than what I'm making minimum wage in my job right now. And it's just a matter of getting up early, but I have not been able to wake up. I start work at 10. The commute is pretty long, but I can still wake up at like 6 or 7 and still get a lot done with Depop. It's just, I have woken up at like 8 or 8:30 knowing that I could have like had a whole almost hour or 2 hours of just Depop time if I had just woken up earlier. So I'm really hard on myself right now, but it's just, I really want to move into my own studio apartment. That's like my main goal in life. That is what's driving me to work so hard. A lot of you guys are concerned about me like streaming too much or working too hard. I have had too much free time these past couple months. I've had way too much time to reflect, to wallow in my pains. I just like scratched my nose and now it's pink. But yeah, I think it's go time. I've had too much free time. So thanks for the concern that's revolving around me about me possibly burning out. It's just, I have my fun days on stream. I have my fun days at work. I don't really do much at work, to be totally honest. So I feel like it's not easy for me to burn out. It's just I'm tired because I'm just a low energy person. I don't know if it's chronic illness, but I'm just always tired. I think it's a like a illness of sorts that I don't want to get into, but yeah. Hi Marissa, welcome in. But yeah, I will be locking in with Depop. I'm sorry if I do come across even more tired on stream. I'm gonna fix my makeup. I use the Milani Conceal Imperfect. It's porcelain. I'm like the uh whitest option. Wait, does that work? Oh my god, no. No. How do I take the pink away? Guys, this is me. This is... Is it gone? Okay, it's gone. Now it's on my fingers. What do I do with the rest? Okay, that's not stop staring at it. Stop staring. What if I put some on my forehead? Will that work? Okay. Okay, that worked actually. Whoa. Okay. But yeah, I kind of wish to know like how you guys are doing. I mean, I had a really boring day, so did you just have a boring day too? Tell me what you did. Everybody is so quiet today. Oh my god, I'm serious for one day and the chat is dead. Guys, don't be scared. I'm still me. I'm still here. One fun thing that I did to start like maybe growing these streams or growing my efforts for the news streams is promoting it on Hassan's self promo thing in his Discord, and then in Caroline Kwan's promo announcements in her Discord. So I'm a little bit hesitant whether that's gonna work or not, or if I'm just gonna get a lot of weirdo chatters. But I'm excited. I'm excited to keep growing and possibly seeing where I take stuff. But I do have a lot of like upcycling projects I want to do. Like I love upcycling. I actually bought this shirt. Isn't this shirt so freaking cute? I got this one in the size 2X. If you're not aware of Alveus Sanctuary, it's a Texas nonprofit that rescues animals, and I love them. I watch the stream all the time. They have ambassadors. They range in a lot of different animals. They have all sorts. And they all are there for a reason. They're not pets. And I have just grown to love them. I've grown to really admire the stream. I've met chatters through there. It's a very lovely space, very wholesome space. It keeps me company during the day. And I just love like their mission. So I bought their merch a couple of months ago. It was like the tank shirt. It was a black one. And I lost it, but then I really wanted this one. And I want to upcycle it. I want to make it into a dress. I'm typically like a medium, so I think a 2X is going to do me wonders. It's going to do me wonders so I can do the DIY project. So I'm excited about that. And then I'm thinking about buying a 2X shirt for Eagles of the World shirt. And it's by the World Bird Sanctuary, which is also loved within the alveus community and also do great things for the birds. So that is a project that I'm gonna work towards. But chat, what are you doing? Oh my god, I called you guys chat. I hate when streamers call chat. It's like a personal pet peeve. I hate it. Josie says I'm fine. I'm not worse than yesterday, so there's that. I didn't do anything fun today. Oh, well, at least you went to the water park the other day. That is so fun. I am quite jealous of people that can like swim. I do not know how to swim, and I'm a Pisces. I'm a freaking Pisces, and I don't know how to freaking swim. It is actually kind of like hypocritical, I feel like. How can I be a water sign? How can I love marine life? How can I say, oh, I respect the ocean, and I want to save the axolotls in the waterways of Mexico and not even know how to freaking swim? So I need to learn. I need to learn how to swim. Kay says I'm a Pisces too. Wait, when's your birthday, if you don't mind sharing? Kay says I put emotes in my Discord. I posted on my streaming TikTok. I saw Alveus open my art and like it. Dude, your art is so good. And thank you for offering to make me art. I don't know what you would draw. Maybe you would be like an axolotl, but like, dude, the thought behind the art was so beautiful. I loved it. If you want to see the clip of the Alveus Sanctuary staff open up art from Kay, my Twitch streamer or Twitch chatter, who's also a streamer. You should join the Discord because the clip is in there. Or you should just watch Alveus more often. Josie, you love Alveus? Yeah, so Josie also does like styling fits for show and tell for Alveus, and it's so beautiful. Like all the outfits are based off of the ambassadors. It's so fun. It's so fun. It's so freaking fun. Everybody here on Twitch is so creative. It's so cool. Wait, Kay, you have the Hank the Tank shirt too? Dude, I have it somewhere. It's just I lost it. You call everyone chat though, Josie? How, okay, you're talking to your, I don't know if you have a brother, but you go up to your brother and you're like, "Hey, chat." Or you go up to your dad and you're like, "Hey, chat." I just feel like I hate when streamers say chat. Hey, chat, like I don't know. It makes me feel weird. I don't know. I don't like calling you guys chat. You guys are just like guys. The guys. Queens. Marissa says, Kay, go Kay. Such a productive day. Dude, really, Kay has been locked in. She has done a lot more progress than I ever have in a year. And she's been doing this for like a couple weeks. I've been seeing you research for the last couple weeks. And dude, you've been doing a lot. So, high five for all the work that you've been doing. Dude, you're like speed running through learning. It doesn't seem like a lot because there's so much to learn. But like, dude, learning how to stream, doing this seriously, is just, there's a lot to like get a handle on. So shout out, Kay. I see your hustle. I see it. Josie, you love the World Bird Sanctuary? Okay. Wait, what if I make this for you? I don't know what size you are, but I can buy the shirt, make it into a dress, and then send it to you. I don't know if you'd want to wear it or if this is like your style. They also have different colors, but I can add it to the list of projects. It's just right now I'm working on something for Carrie. I owe Marissa a vest, and then I could owe you a shirt dress. Newbie says, same, I'm playing Minecraft. Dude, I'm sorry that I don't know how to play Minecraft yet, but I am trying to work on it. I am trying to work on figuring out Minecraft stuff. I just need the memory drive, and then I can download the Minecraft thing on the memory thing, and then it'll work out. The things with the things will work out. It's just it needs to come in from Amazon, and that's going to be in a couple days. But yay, I'm so excited to play Minecraft, dude. Oh my gosh, Carrie, Newbie, everybody's going to help me. Carrie says my day feels the same as the others. I feel like time goes by so fast. Dude, same. Today I was crashing out. I just did not want to be at work. Josie says I'm a Gemini. Carrie says I'm American. Kay is a February 27th Pisces. Oh, you're a February Pisces. Oh, interesting. I'm your streamer. Yes, Kay is my streamer. Carrie, you don't really care about astrology stuff? No. Moon, the Hank the Tank shirt is in your cart. Dude, it's such a good shirt. It's such a good shirt. I love astrology. I really want to read Newbie's cards. Can I read Newbie's tarot cards? I wanna mess with him because I don't think he likes that stuff either. I've tried to like read tarot cards for my chatters. I'm actually really good at reading other people's stuff, but like I'm not really good at myself. So I like to help others. So if you want a tarot card reading, let me know. I can do another session, another stream of that. Josie says I don't know any of my rising or whatever it's called because my stupid bio dad forgot what time I was born. Dang. Freak him. Men, my God, men annoyed me today. Every time I went to the bathroom today at work, everybody wanted to use the bathroom at the same time as me, and it was pissing me off. I had a really bad hair day because it's so humid out, and oh my God, it was just like terrible dealing with it while my manager wanted to use the bathroom at the same time as me. It was pissing me off. Moon says they love dress shirts. Josie says I wouldn't wear it, not comfortable sharing my address. Got it. That's totally fine. It was a yes or no option, and you chose an option. I don't take it personally. Carrie says I played 3 hours of Infinity. Nikki, dude, I miss that game so much. Okay, newbie, I actually really want to read your tarot cards because it says he said I'm kind of meh on it, but you're curious. Okay, cool. And Josie would also like a tarot card reading. And my cards are nicer than Kay's. Aw. Okay. All right. And Marissa says that's such a fun way to combine your love of fashion with your love for animals. With the upcycling, yeah. I want to continue doing this. I feel like it's so fun. I feel like it's just so creative to do it. And I love, like, a good, oversized thing. So I think this is going to be a super fun combination of all this stuff that I love. It's not going to be, like, a super frequent thing. Like, I'm going to be buying, like, a shirt every 3 weeks from different places. So basically one thing a month to support the organization, to support DIY stuff. Moon is saying yes. Cool. Yeah, I love it. I love this idea so much. I'm going to have so much fun, and I'll film it, and I can do streams about it, and it'll just be so cool. There's so many options for this, so... And then I can get more creative in the future, like adding lace, or like tie-dyeing it, or adding little different details. Like, there's so many options when it comes to, like, upcycling shirts. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Besides that, I don't have any other updates. I feel like that just kind of, like, covers everything, except I do want to take a day off this week from streaming. I've been streaming a lot. I may take the day off tomorrow because I am feeling a bit, like, just... my head is just, it feels like it's clogged, if that makes sense. Like, you know, when you have too much in your head, like, let's say you've studied too much, it's full of stuff. Like, I just need a day for it to, like, settle. There's just been a lot going on. And I'm excited to, like, explore buying a bass guitar. My coworker actually showed me a bass guitar that he bought off of Amazon, and it was like $130. It was so cheap, and I didn't realize there was super cheap options on Amazon. I only had looked in IRL stores. In the IRL stores, they sell them for like $500. And he hooked me up. He was explaining, like, how he was learning. And he was actually learning today at work. And I got so jealous. I was actually kind of pissed off. But yeah, incoming bass guitar conversations. I will be learning at work. But I'll order the actual bass guitar in 3 weeks in my next paycheck. And then it'll come in like a week or two. So that's like a month. That's like in September. In September, we're going to be entering like more musical times. I don't know if anyone here is musical, but I do want to do like some bass guitar streams, just a little bit more casual, and it can be like a fun thing. So yeah, we can learn together. Also, last thing before we start with the news, I'm so glad Lollapalooza is ending soon because everybody has been in Chicago. I'm near Chicago, and holy shoot, like, everybody is in the freaking city. Like, everybody go home. It's been so chaotic. I need everybody to go home. I just need everybody to go back to their respective corners. Josie says you could do one of those Nat Geographic teas. I can put what I'm talking about in Discord. Oh, please. Any, like, good organizations that you think would, like, work with me? I know Newbie hates when I say aligned, but if anything aligns, like, whether it's, like, about animals or whatever, like, please freaking let me know. Because, I don't know. I think it's such a great idea, and I want to support really cool organizations. Moon says I'm inspired to actually do more sewing slash upcycling projects. Dude, you should. You should freaking do it. Okay, Moon, if you used to play guitar, what sort of guitar did you used to play? Because if you know anything that can possibly help me, let me know. Because I want to play bass guitar. Bass guitar is where it's at. And my freaking coworker, out of everything he decided to do bass guitar too. It's like he copied me. Kind of pisses me off. I'm not going to say anymore. But one of the things that I wanted to cover is this. I want to understand what phalo animal tracking bracelets are. Josie, you got a couple of these and you put them in the chat. I've never heard of them before. I have never freaking heard of them before. And I looked at their Instagram. They look so, like, official. I thought it was like low-key a scam because it says every purchase tracks a real animal in the wild, and they've been doing this for like years. Like, this is an established brand, and I have never heard of it. It's kind of crazy. And I was just like in a whole freaking loophole on their website looking up their YouTube videos. But apparently, like, you buy this, right, for $17. It's called the Quest bracelet. And then they explain how the tracking works. So if you buy the bracelet, no, I don't want to scratch your freaking thing. So it says, so it's tracked via spot, which is the smart position and temperature tag. And this animal safety is guarded with the phalo protection ping. So every phalo tracking experience includes the phalo protection ping. This indicates each animal's unique path. The unique path may be live. What? Sorry, I cannot read. This indicates each animal's unique path may be live, delayed, or historical based on required safety protocol. In accordance with... Why is OBS not working? Oh my god, no, not this again. Am I still here? I think OBS disconnected. But basically it says Phalo donates 10% of all profits to their nonprofit partners. I understand the gist of it, but I do want to watch a video. Josie says they have a plushie. What? They have plushies? Where? Oh, dude, what? Plushies. Koala? Wait, I like the turtles. Am I here? Okay, you guys can hear me. The $30 sea turtle. So how do you track this one? Oh, it's out of stock. Track a real sea turtle and snuggle this one. Created in partnership with Sea Turtle Conservancy. Each turtle tracking plush unlocks an interactive map and helps Phalo support the conservation. Is the audio gone on YouTube? Dang it. How is YouTube doing though? Okay. Why is the YouTube never working anymore? Give me a second. Marissa just said checking Twitch to see if it's just me. No, I think Twitch can hear me, no? Can you guys tell me if you can hear me? Can you please tell me if you can hear the audio? Can you hear me? That's the question. Yes or no? You can hear me on Twitch? Why is no one else answering the question? Oh my god, I'm gonna crash out. Okay, can hear. Thank you so much. So you can't hear me on YouTube then. What is happening with YouTube then? Should I I don't know why the audio is not working. Let me check with the YouTube stuff. It may be because there's not a lot of health to it. Let me reload to see what's going on. I think it may be the bitrate. I think it's not working because of the stream health. The stream's current bitrate is higher than recommended. What does that even mean? Do we recommend a stream bitrate of 2,500? Marissa, can you check if it's working on YouTube? Oh my god, I'm gonna crash out, bro. I think there's a massive lag as well. You know what I noticed? There's a lag with what I'm saying and what you guys are responding to. It's not me trying to be like aggressive with you guys. I think there's like a 5-second delay or like a 10-second delay. So when I'm saying something, you guys are hearing it like 10 seconds behind. So when I said, can you respond? No one responded because you guys genuinely hadn't heard it yet. And then there was a moment, right? And I kept repeating myself, not because I wanted to fight you guys. It's just like, I was trying to confirm if you could hear me, but like there's such a delay that it was just impossible for you guys to like answer at the time that I said it, if that makes sense. There's just a big delay on Twitch and there's no audio on YouTube. Okay. Well, if you can hear me on Twitch, I'll just keep continuing on Twitch. Let me pull up YouTube to see what it looks like on there. Just 1 second delay here. There's tech issues as always. I don't know what to do with this. Why is this always doing this? Okay, actually, Marissa, I think it's your phone, because I can hear it on my cell phone. I think it's your device, Marissa. It's happened to you last time as well. I think it's your device. I would check your laptop, or maybe it gets muted for some reason. Maybe you're connecting to Bluetooth somehow. It's your device. It's you, Marissa. I'm sorry. It's not me. It's you. Also, newbie, you said I looked slay. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Oh, okay. How does this work? I want to actually watch a YouTube video. Let's watch a YouTube video about this. Okay. So I looked it up, guys. I
just drive cars when you can build your career around them.
Shut up with the freaking commercials. So I did a lot of research on this. You guys think that I'm not paying attention. You guys think, oh my gosh, she's just this little weird girl. She seems to like be smart, but kind of weird. Guys, I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention to what you guys are saying, your interests, your thoughts, your pains. I act weird, but I'm actually paying attention. So I looked into this. I was researching it. Like, they were so active 5 years ago with their YouTube stuff. And then they just became dead, like not in a literal way, but like their marketing just like went down from 5 years ago. So I wonder what's going on. Marissa says, okay, maybe it's me. I can hear other videos, just not yours. Sorry for the interruption and tech issue scare. No, it's fine. It's better that you tell me than not telling me. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. No, Moon, I feel like you're smart. This is not like a comparison game. It was just like, I think it's just surprising that people see me paying attention when I act a certain way.
Show you something that I got on View Your Deal that's so cute. I don't usually buy things from there, but this was irresistible. I thought it was a great idea. It's a company called Follow, and they pair with nonprofits, and they track animals that they've rescued. And it comes with a bracelet and a card that has your animal's name on it. It's so cute. So the card is, so they partner with Sea Turtle Conservancy, and the bracelet has a little turtle on it, but they're so cute. They're like heavy glass beads. This might be like sea glass. And let's see, so you get this, you get the name of your animal and this QR code, so I'm going to scan it. Let's see.
I have never heard of this, and it may be because I don't really go to museums, zoos. I never really go to zoos or conservation sites, so I've never been exposed to this. So this is actually a new concept of like how you can support conservation efforts. I like the tech.
Okay.
Is she a millennial? It'll take her like 5 hours to take a picture of that.
Which brings you to the site. So click open in browser. I'll show you.
Whoa, they have an app?
So this is Babs, and she's been all over Florida. Guess this green dot.
They're tracking it.
It says release site.
No way.
So July, and it's now February. So I think they said that the trackers stay on for about a year and then they fall off. I wish I knew that. So
a year?
You might only be able to track this for another few months until July. So wow, she's been all up and down the coast of Florida, which is huge.
No way.
She is here, somewhere in the Bahamas. That's where I would go right now. So I think it's like they even plug the turtles in every day. Where they've been. It's February 23rd. I'm sorry. September 23rd and 22nd. Yeah,
the camera, the cell phone is not even, okay, let me, sorry. Okay, now it's focused.
The turtle gets in like 9 months. Okay, great. So they have turtles, and they have another turtle.
They have the turtle called Rose, an adult hawkbill sea turtle that was encountered nesting on Cade's Bay Beach. What? Dude, I've never heard of this. What if we did this for axolotls? But like, it wouldn't work because you would need to track these animals for it to work. So like you would need to attach it somehow, and it's better with like bigger animals because there's more surface area. So I don't know how well this would work with like marine life that I'm interested in. Like, how do they do this with fish? No, I don't think so.
Rose. And they have polar bears. There's Foxy. She has 7. Wow, so cute.
The polar bears.
Nook. 6 cubs. Wow. They have elephants. Monolo. Berry Manolo.
They sell these in sports stores where I live, kind of by the registers. Oh.
Alright.
Huh.
And I like the polar bears. Hoping. Sounds
That's
like
so
she's from
cute.
Scandinavia.
What? Okay, let me look at the bracelet.
Yeah. Really cute. Ooh, this is the elephant. Oh. What's her name? Monolo. Cute.
The elephant. That's so cute. I think we get the point. Dude, what?
I think this one was darker on the site. A little bit darker.
The polar
Maybe it's straight
bear.
up, but they probably vary, in color. I love that though. Really cute. Awesome. So yeah, so they
This makes conservation work so easy in this way. Like sometimes I think it's just difficult for people to give their money blindly to certain things without having something being received back. It's just like, I feel like it's kind of like the tradition that if you put your money into something, you get something back in a way. Like it's a very transactional world that we live in. And capitalism is basically the norm right now. So I think it's like normalizing conservation consumerism, if that's even a term or a thing. But like, I think it's easier to feel better about spending your money in conservation work because you have this bracelet to confirm how you spent your money, if that makes sense. Like because you bought the bracelet, you're helping the world, but like at the end of the day, you bought it to help the world, but you got something in return. But like the bracelet's kind of not the point, it's the conservation thing. Do you understand what I mean? Like we should be just donating the money, but like we kind of want something in return. So we get a bracelet. It makes it fun. Colorful beads, good cause is peak. Yeah, I feel like that's just kind of like the mindset that people just want something in return for helping the world. So it is playing into the capitalism role of our lives. But I mean, who doesn't really like a cute bracelet? I like the plushies. I feel like I would support if I could get a plushie. But this makes me kind of wonder like what more can be done and like how people are using, I guess, financial transactions and products to push forward conservation efforts. I've only really seen it in alveus and with the World Bird Sanctuary stuff, but it was more with like the traditional merch where you buy a shirt or you buy like a beanie or whatever. But this is a different sort of thing where you feel like you're invested more personally with the animal because you're tracking it supposedly. They are becoming more mainstream, but like this was super popular. This was popular like 5 years ago. I looked at their YouTube videos and they explain it a bit more, but it's like outdated videos. Not to criticize them or anything, but they do need to make more videos. So this one was 5 years ago. It was introducing their sea turtle. Maybe I'm just so used to alveus being so consistent with updates and like, oh, look at that. Alveus is right on my feed. I'm so used to like alveus being so on top of like marketing and stuff that I just kind of like think of them. So I feel like just conservation work needs more good marketing. That is all I'm saying. But look at the turtle. With the tracker. Look at the little tracker on there. Go, turtle, go. It's so cute. Be free, turtle. Be free. Be free. Yeah, okay. My wish, my desire is that conservation work / nonprofits dedicated to this just get a little bit more strategic and relentless about their marketing so they can reach more people. Hence, they get more funds. Hence, they can do more good work. If I see someone's YouTube just kind of die out of nowhere, I get sad. Not because of self-interest, but because of their interest, because I want so many more people to learn about them so they can grow more, so more girlies, more boys, more wives, more husbands, more people, just people in general can support. It's just, if I have barely been hearing about this and I've been deeply in these spaces, or like trying to research consumerism and like how to support sustainable causes, it's kind of like, oh gosh. How did I miss this? Where have they been, you know? But this is cool. I love this so much, and the products themselves are so freaking cute. I'll maybe buy a plushie. I can't say for sure because I already have enough plushies. So yeah, I don't want to overconsume. Carrie, you're okay. You were in the void for the past 5 minutes. What's happening with Carrie? Carrie's my mod. I'm concerned about you. Carrie, it's fine. You don't have to really comment. You can just watch if you want. Carrie says, I've known about these bracelets for quite a while, and you've never mentioned it to me. And you've never said anything. Never picked one up, but I'd like to sometime. Wait, these would be such good birthday gifts for people in general. I don't care if they don't like animals. At least they're part of the solution. Oh, you don't like the cutesy animal bracelet I gave you? Freak you. You hate animals. I thought everyone knew about them. No. No, I don't. No, I feel like if I gift this to my Mexican friends, they're probably not going to know about it, because not to make this a race thing or not to make it like a cultural thing, but a lot of Latinos that I know that really have cared a lot about the environment, they've had to fight for a spot in environmentalism and planetary action and the climate crisis, whatever. Like, they've had to like push against oppression and setbacks. So to be involved and to deeply care about the world or the planet outside of the odds that they were given is really hard. So I feel like we shouldn't assume that everyone has the time or privilege to know about this, especially with like oppressed background, like those with oppressed backgrounds, if that makes sense. Not to like, this is not against what you said or not against. OBS is also crashing out. Okay, sorry guys, my OBS is saying that it's disconnecting. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah? Okay. Newbie, thank you so much. You are preventing a crash out on my part, and I'm way too tired to yell. And I feel like I'm on a verge of like crashing out if no one responds back to me. Okay, thank you so much. I think some people from certain backgrounds who have been exposed to certain things routinely may have been exposed to these bracelets. Like, let's say you go to a zoo or you go to certain stores. Maybe you see this some way, but like, I don't know. I come from a low income working class background and I've never heard of this. So maybe other people like me experience the same thing. I don't know. I can't generalize. So, but I can ask around. I can ask my Latino friends in the city, see if they know about this. I think most likely the answer is going to be no. It's a good guess. No? No, Josie, you're fine. Don't worry. Carrie says you went to Panda Express? Dude, I need to go to Panda Express. I love me some Panda Express. Holy shoot. That sounds so yummy. What the heck? Okay, so we're going to go into the news now. So New Balance has actually revealed its first ever garden at its Flimby factory. So this is kind of sus to me because I've heard that New Balance makes their stuff in sweatshops in China. So when I read this, I was like, this must be a PR thing. But basically, they explained that they have a made in UK factory in Flimby in West Cumbria. I don't know what that location is, but basically the Flimby, you can all say it. The Flimby garden was created with London-based jewelry designer Blue Burnham, and is a dedicated space designed for the factory workers. So alongside the Flimby factory, the garden has been conceived as a restorative environment where employees can step away from the production floor and spend time immersed in nature. Wow. So the designer, he supposedly designed the garden, balancing structure forms with more playful organic elements, including custom multicolored bird boxes integrated to support local wildlife. Cumbria is pronounced Cumbria. Okay, interesting. I don't like that at all. So the project represents a significant milestone for the founder of the factory, making it the first professionally designed garden by the brand. This is where we've come to, that we're proud to have a professionally designed garden in a factory location. Oh my god. Not the heat stroke. Take care of that, Kay. Holy shit. So they explained that it's both a privilege and an honor to have been entrusted with designing a garden for New Balance at their Made in the UK factory. Their project gave us the opportunity to explore how our design language and philosophy could interact with garden design, creating a space that is playful in its design, while encouraging moments of pause, connection, joy throughout the working day. To concede with the garden's opening, New Balance and Blue, the designer, have also produced a documentary-style film chronicling the development of the project from concept to completion. Additional standalone films focused on the garden itself will be released across digital and social channels, featuring special appearances from renowned gardener and broadcaster Monty Don. This is kind of dumb. This garden is so dumb. Oh my god. The Brits are weird with their pronunciations, like the Thames have been pronounced Thames. Oh, it's called Thames? What? So more context about this factory. It says New Balance is made in UK. Flimby factory has been producing New Balance products for over 3 decades, making more than 300,000 pairs of shoes each year. Headquartered in Boston, the firm employs over 14,000 associates around the globe, and in 2025 reported worldwide sales of 9.2 billion. 9.2 billion. Flimby is one of our company's 6 athletic footwear factories, with 5 operating in New England in the States. The new Flimby garden will open exclusively, I cannot say that word, exclusively for employees at the factory from July 30th and beyond. What a moment to kind of consider. And then I have more links, so let's actually look at the premiere. Let's look at what this garden looks like, okay?
Hello, I'm Monty Don, and I'm in the Flimby Garden, which is a special project between New Balance and Blue Burnham.
Yeah, this is actually the first time I've been back. Since planting. We planted in April.
Really? So this is wonderful for you.
Super happy of how everything...
Oh my god, I cannot get these captions. Who cares about these captions? Freak them. Freak this. Freak the captions.
Everything's looking and feeling. This is a garden for the people who work in the factory. Yeah. This is to add some, value to their working day. From a kind of like a planting design perspective, I tried to kind of like fuse my 2 favourite schools of thinking around garden design, so the New Perennial Movement and the British Cottage Garden.
It's very interesting because those 2 are not natural bedfellows.
Yeah.
But actually it's beginning to work already, isn't it?
The crocosmia are just looking so happy, aren't they? Which is amazing. I love crocosmia so much.
They could not be healthier or happier.
Yeah.
I mean, it's extraordinary. I mean, almost everything looks really healthy. I think that it's very interesting that Flimby Garden was made primarily for the employees. That gives it a kind of purpose and integrity.
I'm literally sitting here right now, very proud because I planted that right there.
This is a big, ambitious project.
Yeah.
Someone can sit where I'm sitting now and eat their sandwiches, or grieve, or celebrate, or whatever it is that's going on in their life, surrounded by a garden, is a very humane thing.
Okay, let's talk about the realities of the situation. Let's talk about the reality. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's so beautiful. The garden is amazing. In theory, it's something that every worker should be entitled to. But let's look at this. Let us look at something else. And then we can kind of consider and ponder the garden in more detail. If it will load, will you load for me? God dang. Hello. Hello. Okay, so they talk about on their website about labor rights. Now, why would they talk about labor rights on their website? Do you think it's because they're doing amazing or they have something to cover up? Usually it's the latter, but basically they explain their labor rights as the people who make our products, no matter where they are located in the world, should be treated with dignity and respect. We believe they have a right to make their voices heard, earn a fair wage, and work in a safe and healthy environment. Over 185,000 workers are part of our global Tier 1 supply chain. By working with our suppliers to uphold and promote good labor practices, we have a significant positive impact on the lives of many. They provide safe compensation. They explain how. They have supposedly responsible purchasing practices. They supposedly strengthen worker voices, that they care about worker/management dialogue. They have grievance mechanisms. So let's say a worker has a problem, they know how to conduct a certain process to figure that out in an ethical and humane way. They have worker hotlines. They prevent forced labor, which is sweatshops. They have statements against using, how do I explain this without getting into the weeds, because I am going to show more stuff. They have a statement saying that they don't use forced labor from China, but there is actually a lot of allegations that they actually do use sweatshop labor from China. One of the things that I always use to rate brands is Good On You. That is my go-to solution for this stuff. And when I look at the website, when I look at all the videos, I always go to Good On You to double check what is being stated on websites. I personally do not just take what they feed me as the truth. I don't take the garden as a reality. I don't take the PR stuff as the only sole truth. I question why they're doing this. I question why they talk about that they don't use forced labor in China. I question it all. Ask questions. That is the one thing I'll always urge. Newbie says, yeah, the only one that will be able to use that without getting the flack are the white collar people. So yeah, basically this is one garden. What Newbie said. Who has access to this factory? Only very few of the workers, out of all the workers in the UK. If this is their first one, what does this say about their other locations? What does this say about what they have to do to improve the humane workspace that they're trying to reach? They have multiple locations, so I wonder if there's a plan to have gardens all over the UK where there's factories. But then again, like, let's look at Good On You. Let's go here. They explore how ethical is New Balance. So this is a shoe brand. They've been now known for their quote-unquote dad shoe brand. They've made dad shoes popular. I'm sure you've seen New Balances on rich people. So they break down environmental impact. They break down labor conditions. They break down animal welfare. And then they're given an overall rating. So based on all the research that they did, I'm not going to read it because it's just a lot. And they don't include photos. The thing is, if I'm looking at an article, please include some photos. I'm not going to read your dang article if you don't include photos. Am I a machine to you? I am not a machine. Josie says it rates Converse as it's a start. Exactly. It's a really good site. You should definitely download the app. Let's say you're shopping out and about, like Kay went to a mall place and she was trying to look up a brand, and I actually inserted the brand in the search bar over here. Well, yeah, you can search anything here. It says search for articles, but just type in the brand and it'll show you like what they rated it. But if it's a smaller brand, most likely they don't have a rating for it because they mostly focus on big brands, and it's a small team. And also, mind you, this was published in 2023, so just because a rating is something doesn't mean that it's been updated or the most accurate information, because brands are always changing, they're always improving or actually doing worse than beforehand. So just take this as like a general idea of like where a brand stands. Marissa says, I know in 2006, New Balance was accused of having a lot of human rights violations in their overseas factories. Yes, so we're going to get into that. But I always look at the end overall rating, and they were basically said that they're not good enough. So it explains while the brand has taken some steps towards improving its impact on people and planet, it still has a long way to go, especially when it comes to using more responsible materials and ensuring living wages for its workers. So this is exactly what they were saying they did do on their website, but here, after investigation, after analysis by these workers on Good On You, it was the opposite result, which I think is the accurate statement here. I believe Good On You more than what is being said on the brand's website. That is just me. I do not believe the brand, ever. I will never truly 100% believe the brand. No matter if they're a nonprofit or they say they're the best of the best, like, I will doubt them. I'm sorry, that's just who I am. Because I don't think consumerism is the answer to sustainability. If you're selling me a product, I'm always going to be sus, because we don't need more stuff, honestly, but we're just kind of trapped in the cycle of producing and consuming stuff in the name of money. And sometimes it's just hard to like think about how you can make money outside of that system. For me, I'm kind of stuck in it. I've said that I want to have my own thrift store in the future that is still playing in the system, that's still playing with capitalism, that's still playing with money. I have to sell something to like maybe have the possibility of having a good life. But I like justify it by saying it's like secondhand stuff. It's used stuff, and I'm just trying to find a new home for it. But if you're like making new items in the name of sustainability, that's where I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that. Like sustainable fashion brands that are using like virgin resources, like new resources to make new products. It's like, brother, we have enough clothing to clothe the next 6 generations. So always buy from your local thrift store, because maybe they live in your community. Maybe they also care about recirculating stuff. They have an investment in this topic. It's just like they don't have the funds to kind of talk about this more explicitly, or maybe they just care more about being a business owner versus an educator on this topic. But anyways, whatever it is, like, I would just support your local thrift store. You don't need like newly made sustainable fashion clothing. But going back to this brand, if you're looking at major like quote unquote normal brands, you can use this. Also, there's a lot of sustainable fashion rating for brands. Like sustainable fashion brands are also rated here. So whether it's a fast fashion brand or a sustainable fashion brand, you can look it up on Good On You. But I feel like they're always going to be improving no matter what. But that is good to know, right? It's good to know. So going back to this, I want to go back to Marissa's point about them having a history in human rights violations. So there's actually a organization that has looked into it. It's called the businesshumanrights.org. The Business and Human Rights Center. I just read the website, sorry. It's called the Business and Human Rights Center. And basically, activists have accused New Balance of using Chinese sweatshop labor. Isn't that interesting that they literally stated on their website that they didn't use Chinese labor, and then these activists are like, hey, they're actually using it. I feel like activists don't really have an interest in money. They're often working out of an interest to preserve the planet or preserve human rights. So when you present me with an activist's perspective, I'm gonna go to the activist. I'm sorry, that's my bias, because I'm an activist. A lot of times we were just doing it on a volunteer basis. I was a volunteer basically for 7 years, aka an activist for 7 years. Like, no one paid me to do the stuff that I did. It was because I actually really wanted stuff to change. Let me see if I can get this to go. Why is it not working? This is making me look dumb. The page doesn't work. I clicked on it the earlier. Is this just a timeline? Where did it go? Hello? It's not working. The website's not working. It's making me look dumb. Hello? I had access to the article. Okay. That's fine. But basically all we have to know is that activists have called out New Balance for using sweatshop labor. I can try to look for the article. I don't know why it's not pulling up right now. None of the links are working. I don't know. I think this is what you're referring to. Marissa, this was back in 2020, back in 2006. That's what you said, right? Yeah, it's pointing back to 2006 for me too. It's just the articles are not pulling up. I think it's an issue with the PC, with the article, because I do have like security stuff on there. But I pulled up earlier on my laptop, but I was at work. I can pull up another random article. Okay, this one is by the Sports Business Journal, and they break it down that the New Balance supplier was charged with worker abuse in China. So they were actually caught like in factories where the workers are not treated right. They're exposed to long hours at the site. So like it can be minimum 10 hours to like 14 hours. They're not paid fairly, barely enough to feed themselves. Their managers are often like very abusive. And it's often not very clean in the factory. There's not enough windows, or they're even locked in there. So just a lot of abuse basically for the poor workers, and they're often females, and the managers are men. So it's also a gender issue. The men managers have a lot of power over these poor female workers who are trying to survive, and often come from like a rural background, escaping poverty and stuff. So anyways, so we have to consider those allegations in sight of these improvements. If they have improvements for the factories in the UK, they should have improvements in the entire supply chain, especially if there's allegations that they use sweatshop labor. If they care about one sort of worker, they should care about all sorts of workers. If not, then they're kind of racist, and they're taking advantage of Chinese workers. They're taking advantage of the system if they're not treating everybody equally. So hopefully they have worker rights for their Chinese workers, their UK workers. Every worker deserves to be treated humanely, not just one type. So more gardens to come in China, right? You think so or no? Do you think it's gonna happen? Huh?
What do tennis...
But this YouTube video from Business Insider from 6 years ago supposedly explains how the shoes are made. So let's see how they present the production of the shoes. But I would just take this as a start of the investigation of like what's actually happening in the factories and how things are produced, because that's what matters at the end of the day, because the labor is what really affects the worker. Like workers often get carpal tunnel syndrome, which is like where your body gets hurt from doing the same act over and over again, because they're literally often doing one thing over and over again all day. So let's see what they presented as what's happening in the factories.
Star Coco Gauff, NBA MVP Kawhi Leonard, and Liverpool soccer great Sadio Mane have in common. They all wear New Balances on the court and on the field. You don't have to be a sneakerhead to know that New Balances weren't always considered the cool shoe. But somehow, despite steep competition, New Balance has entered the conversation. Reportedly, from 2010 to 2018, sales jumped by more than 100% at a time when athleisure was making the biggest dent in the shoe market. So why are athletes across the sports spectrum flocking to New Balance now? The answer lies in the shoe's soles. and the attention to detail in their manufacturing. I traveled to New Balance's Lawrence, Massachusetts facility to learn what goes into the process. Manny Gomes, the mechanic supervisor at the facility, showed me the precision that goes into making the sneakers here. Making a New Balance sneaker takes 50 to 60 steps, and work is divided into 4 stations: the prep station, initial stitching, hand stitching, and the assembly station. It's at the 4th station where the soles get attached to the rest of the shoe, and it's something New Balance has been working on since the beginning. The company started in 1906 by selling arch supports, which became so popular among athletes that they asked for sneakers tailored to their feet. But the company wouldn't release its first pair of sneakers until years later. When it did start selling sneakers, New Balance mostly chose not to rely on celebrity endorsements, as the brand wanted its sneaker to speak for itself. It went so far as to make its mantra endorsed by no one, all the while improving the sole and the shoe's overall comfort. But before the sole is ever added, the work begins at the first station. This is where fabrics are cut into different parts of the shoe.
So how exactly does the machine for the cutting work?
This is the vamp die. It's going to cut off the vamp of the shoe. What the cutter is going to do is they're going to place it on this web material. They're going to cut it. They're going to flip it around so they can just try to get their spacing as tight as possible and work their way down.
This station is where small but mighty details of the shoe come together, such as sticking on sizing and model labels. Next is the initial stitching station. During this step, workers use a technique called flat stitching, which is crucial to making the shoes long-lasting. Individual stitches are made without crossing or looping the thread. They use this stitching technique because flat stitching doesn't leave any raw edges, but creates a durable double row of stitching. This is important because this is the body of the shoe, where most of the wear and tear happens. Here, the employee takes the cut-out pieces of fabric and places them onto large yellow pallets. They line up the pieces and close the yellow pallet's lid to begin the stitching. Once stitching is complete on a part of the shoe, an employee will send that part down the assembly line. The famous end gets stitched onto the shoe during this step. Now it's time for heated in a little tunnel. From there, they go into a press machine which permanently bonds the 2 parts together. Speaking of the sole, it's something of an engineering marvel. Traditional soles can be narrow and unsupportive, leading to all kinds of foot problems like plantar fasciitis. And if they can't hold up to the rigors of a sport, it could be a nightmare for a sneaker brand. New Balance widens the toe box. That extra room helps the foot be more stable. Plus, New Balance gives its sneakers a thick midsole, making them more comfortable and shock absorbent. But it's not one size fits all when it comes to the soles. The numbers in each New Balance sneaker name indicate what type of activity the shoe is for and the type of support it offers. For example, if the name has a 40 in it, like the New Balance 940 or 1540 shoes, it's designed to offer control, stability, and cushioning perfect for running. Different numbers mean a different sole. To finish the process, the New Balance sneaker gets a final inspection, and if all is well, it's packed up in its box, soon making its way to a store. Other shoe brands may still have the upper hand in terms of sales and cultural cachet, but there's no doubt that more athletes and customers are taking notice of New Balance.
Those shoes are low-key kind of ugly. Do you guys wear New Balance? Be honest with me. They're kind of ugly. I have never worn New Balance. I've never. They're kind of low-key ugly. Also, this is just one factory, and this was 6 years ago. I want to know what the UK factory looks like today, and I want to know what the factories in China look like until I get more information. I am sus vibes. You wore them in middle school for gym? Oh my gosh. Were you bullied? I feel like those are like shoes that you wear to get bullied. Do not quote me. New Balance is not the vibes. Josie says, I strictly wear Converse or Crocs. W. If it's not the Crocs, it's Converse. Whoa. Oh, you were wearing the red Converse the other day. I remember. Newbie says, I feel like every single Business Insider video is just the laziest attempt at making subtle corpo propaganda. Oh my god. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. That was a chatter. That was a chat. That was a chatter. Do you think they got paid to do this? What if New Balance actually paid them? I want to know what that contract looked like, because it was a very well-made video. It was a very well-made video. Carrie says, no, I was not bullied for my gym shoes. Okay. I feel like if I had worn the New Balance thing in my school, I would have been bullied. I strictly wear Hawks. You've mentioned this brand before. Let me look it up, actually. I have stuff on my sweater. I don't know what that is. Wait. Oh, God. I should be more careful about how I Google stuff, because I don't know what could have popped up. Okay. Actually, let me see something. Oh, they have a lot of stuff. Oh. Okay. Oh, shit. What is that? Move it! Okay. Hawks. Hawks. Is that how you say it? Hawks. Like hawks. I also have an American accent, so it's not gonna sound like you. You got like a freaking accent from the other side of the country. I mean, world. You're not in my country. Why hawks? Hawks. I can't say it. European made, built for professionals worldwide, proven, blah blah, proven in the toughest conditions. What? I just don't need it to be like super effective. I'm a girl. I'm a whimsical. I'm a whimsical girl. Hikes, like when you go hiking. Hikes, heis. Okay, newbie, you know what I'm confused about? You say you have an American accent, and then I said, are you from Texas? Because I swore you said you were from Texas, or you were raised in Texas. Where are you? How do you have an American accent, bro? My memory is not good. You know, Carrie said that she was from a certain place, and then I forgot. And then I think it was someone else was asking, like, where's everybody from? And then that's when I realized that she was in Nebraska. I don't remember, okay? God dang. I don't remember what you guys are saying. I'm sorry. Okay, I was trying to be like really nice earlier and like really smart. I was so locked in. I don't remember accents. I don't remember like your locations. How do you have an American accent? This mofo is in the across the ocean. Shop with confidence. Wait, they look so ugly. Oh, he was in New York at some point. Did you pick him? My OBS is not working. Freak OBS. Sorry, that's just my software system. These are are they ethically made? Well, it's not letting me click. Oh. $400? They're so ugly for $400. W memory. Thank you, Josie. Do they got YouTube videos about this? Do they got any YouTube? Wait, why is my OBS not working?
Just the thing for you. Introducing the all-new Trooper GTX High Side Zip. Whether you're a patrol officer, deputy sheriff, state trooper, canine handler, or park ranger, this boot's going to check all the boxes. These 8-inch boots incorporate a mix of durable bull hide leather and abrasion-resistant textile. It makes them lighter in weight and gives them an unbelievable level of breathability. The premium European bull hide leather will have your boots keeping shape and lasting a long time. And the leather even has our built-in sun reflect technology, and that's going to keep your feet a couple degrees cooler in direct sunlight. And the smooth all-leather toe is polishable, so you can get that squeaky clean and pat.
Crash out. Crash out. Okay, please don't crash out. Please don't crash out. Please don't crash out. If you can hear me, type 1. Okay. Newbie says, actually, European duty boot brands tend to be pretty good when it comes to ethical manufacturing. Mendy is the same with their manufacturing materials, and Altberg is handmade in the UK. They're in Turkey. Dude, why does these brands sound like they're coming from like Thanksgiving? You know what Thanksgiving is? It's where they eat turkey. You mentioned turkey in your paragraph, and everything else just sounded like turkey stuff. Mendy, Altberg, Mendel, Altberg. Okay, I cannot say the things that you're typing. Okay, we're gonna move on. Thank you for the information, though. I appreciate the ones too. Thank you, Marissa and Josie. And if you're lurking, that's totally fine. Carrie says you're struggling to find these brands on Good On You. Yeah, it's kind of expected, to be honest. Good On You is actually kind of outdated. I don't know what happened to the efforts. I don't know what happened to their staff members, but they used to be more goated and they used to do a lot more work, and now it's like they're just kind of dead in a lot of ways, but it's a good reference nonetheless. Okay, so one of the things that I want to talk about is how eBay has acquired Depop. I'm sure you've heard of eBay. I'm sure you've heard of Depop, but you would think that they're competitors, but eBay has bought up Depop. So based on PR Newswire, this was released in July 30th. Is it? This OBS thing is pissing me off. I'm sorry. So the acquisition builds on eBay's continued momentum in fashion, a more than 10 billion annual GMV category for the company. It has a lot of GMV category for the company. It has a lot of users on there, obviously. So I'm actually going to play a YouTube video of the CEO of Depop explaining the situation versus having you guys sit through millions of articles with no pictures. Like, it actually pisses me off that there's no pictures. I do not want to read a PR statement with no pictures. Do I look like a freaking nerd to you? Does it look like I'm nothing to you? I do not want to read this. Like, what is this? I do not want to see this. Bye, Josie. So let us listen to the CEO of Depop, okay? Okay. He was on a podcast and he breaks it down.
Social currency. This episode is brought to you by Mercury. Radically different banking.
No commercials.
To get to that CEO role.
Yeah.
Early on in your career, you started as a copywriter before pivoting to strategy.
That's right.
So
why does she talk like that? Okay.
What did that stint teach you about creativity that still informs how you think about how you lead today?
Yeah, I mean, I've been CEO for nearly a year now, after my full career of being in the brand and marketing space. And as you say, started as a copywriter, and I think I was always very obsessed with writing and language, and actually it bleeds through into loving books and loving hip-hop music and lyricism and various things of that ilk. Along the way, what I've realized is that sort of fixation with how things are articulated and how things land with people and how you message things with intention. That was sort of what I was interested in copywriting in the beginning, and then expanding it to strategy was then, okay, well, you're trying to understand consumer behavior in order to kind of drive an action or drive desire for a particular product along the way. Again, it's about how you articulate things and how you shape things and what message people need to hear at a particular moment in time. And I realized that kind of fascination with language and the articulation of things sort of carried through, and I now get to wield it in very different ways as the CEO, where I've been at this business for 7 years, and it's a secondhand fashion business, and I joined as a startup to build out the brand and the brand story of what we could mean in the world. So I've had ownership of that part for as long as I've been at Depop, but now as CEO I have to make sure that I'm packaging up the vision of the business to inspire all of the business functions, as well as hopefully still have some fingerprints on the messaging we put out to the world. And I think, I can trace it all back to this fascination with writing. And
Okay. He likes to write. So now let's get into why eBay bought Depop. I think he seems fun and cool, and he likes to write. Amazing. Let's talk about the money part. What the hell is going on?
Yes.
That now eBay is going to be acquiring Depop for $1.2 billion. What does this new acquisition mean for the future of Depop?
Personally, it's a really interesting kind of full circle moment for me, given that I was buying and selling sneakers on eBay many, many years ago. We were acquired by Etsy in 2021. And Etsy is a much, much bigger marketplace business to us, but has a very different consumer base and very different inventory. And their premise was always to keep us as an independent business that could kind of leverage and tap into the knowledge base and the experience of a much wider company, but hone it and make it ours for the audiences we were trying to serve. And it's worked really well. And as I say, the most kind of prominent version of it working well is their CPO coming to be our CEO and helping us build this kind of chapter of momentum that we have been on for the last few years. eBay, I suppose, it's an even larger company with even larger knowledge bases and resources, and actually a knowledge base and a resource base that is more directly related to the thing we are doing. I mean, they are originator to some degree of consumer to consumer, peer to peer, fashion transaction, etc. So it was really interesting that, I was assuming we would have been on their radar for a while because we've been growing certainly here in the US very, very quickly. But when they reached out, the sort of the conversation had was, Depop is this very, very fast growing marketplace for secondhand fashion. It actually aligns very closely with many things that have been core to eBay for 20 plus years. And what it means for Depop then is we will continue to remain an independent operating business, much in the same way that we have done for the 5 years we've been part of the Etsy family. But we now get to tap into an even larger, as I say, experience and resource base, and has, very much the same principles.
Shut up. What are you saying? Who's paying attention? What did he just say? Oh my God. He's like that guy that just talks and talks and talks, and you're like, can this man stop? Like when someone just likes the sound of their own voice, and you're just in that room, and it's like, oh my gosh, like when is it gonna end? I feel like he just loves to yap, and people, his workers maybe, are like, oh my gosh, is this meeting over? Newbie says, I hate fake environmentalist corpo stooges. Wait, maybe that's too critical. Like, he was a copywriter, no? You know what? I think he's very comfortable. He's secure. He's had a legacy of a career. I congratulate him. I think Depop is amazing. I feel like it is a hope in the midst of the economic situation that we're in. I respect Depop, the platform that is powered by normal people striving to make a side hustle become more money for them to afford bills, to afford life. I know a lot of people my age are on Depop to list stuff, to sell stuff, to buy cheap, cute things. So like the actual use of it itself is amazing. I don't dog on Depop. I've been on eBay for a long time. Like low-income individuals in my community. So for me, like, I've always seen eBay as a way to like make money to help those that don't have the money. And I was really happy to do so. I felt like I was making an impact. I have a business degree, I have a apparel merchandising degree. I love reselling. I love helping my community. So I have a deep bias for eBay, and I also have a deep bias for Depop because I'm currently mainly focused on Depop right now to make more money outside of my minimum my minimum wage job. So I am in support of these multi-billion-dollar efforts in a way, but I am doing it so that I can make some money to survive this economy. So it is a selfish interest, a selfish bias. But at the same time, I'm concerned for other resellers because some people rely on solely eBay or just solely on Depop. Some people resell on both, like me. I kind of go back and forth, but I just like really love Depop, so that's kind of like how I stay on there. I could make more money on eBay because eBay was really good for me. It's just I like the environment of Depop more. I feel like it's targets. My OBS is like literally gonna rage bait me. Okay, am I back? So I have actually pulled up a YouTube video about someone who is analyzing whether eBay buying Depop is bad or not and if we should be worried. So this is coming from a reseller's background who is thinking about how this is affecting his sales. Give me a second.
Depop.
I may end the stream sooner than I thought because OBS is not working, by the way.
Right, so this is huge. eBay have just bought Depop from Etsy for $1.2 billion, around £890 million. And this could change a lot for the platforms, for buyers, for sellers. Yeah, it shakes things up a lot. If you buy and resell items online, then this news you need to be aware of. So in this video, we're going to break down why Etsy bought Depop, why have they then sold it for a loss, what this means for Depop sellers, and whether it's a good or bad thing. So, it was in the middle of lockdown, 2021, Depop was on its own, thriving. There were sellers that were full-time on Depop. To name a couple in our community, we've got Becky's Bazaar, Retro Jamie, How To Vintage, trying to think of some more, but basically there was full-time sellers that didn't even touch eBay or Vinted back then, was just selling purely on Depop. That's their full-time business and income. Depop has always been very fashion focused. For the younger audience, sort of teenage years up till sort of later 20s, touching 30s. Bearing in mind, over the past year, 90% of its active users are 34 years and younger. Depop's on its own, thriving, and Etsy come along and buy Depop for $1.6 million. And obviously from that, they bought it for 1.6, they've just sold it for 1.2. They've sold it at a loss. Oh dear. And basically from then on, 2021, you sort of saw it in the community and that people are starting to get slow sales, converting into eBay, into Vinted, into whatnot as well. Depop has been like a dead platform for the past 2-3 years. I've started cross-listing on there very recently, literally the past half a year, not even that. Thought I'd give it a go. Let's see if there is some activity, because I used to list on there all the time, cross-list. I was making a few sales. I was never full-time on there. It's always been eBay for me, and then obviously when Vinted Pro came out, I'm now on there. Very, very quiet on there. Might make a couple of sales a month maybe, if I'm lucky, but it's nothing to shout home about. And I was thinking, is the end coming soon? It was so quiet. There used to be full-time sellers, now there's people with no wardrobes at all, and I've only done mine recently as a sort of test. So basically, Etsy have killed the platform pretty much. I also cross-list my vintage items to Etsy, but again, quiet. I've sold a couple of things maybe. Again, I've been testing the waters 3 or 4 months since I started cross-list. I've been doing my vintage stuff to Etsy, and it's got like 3 or 4 sales maybe. And there's quite a lot of commotion and things in the background with Etsy sellers. They don't seem to be very happy customers when it comes to selling on there. Why did eBay buy it? Well, I done a parents' sort of careers evening at the girls' school about a month ago. I went in as a self-employed reseller and social media content creator. There's other mums and dads there, like with proper jobs, like physiotherapist here, law here, builders there. But yeah, I went there with the focus, obviously, with the reselling mainly, and then obviously if you can create content on the back of that, being self-employed. Bearing in mind this was year 9s, so 14, 13-year-olds, and I spoke to the whole of year 9 pretty much. It was a long day. Probably spoke to like just under 200, around 200 children maybe, across the whole day. Not once did I hear the name Depop mentioned. The platform I heard most with the teenagers of now was Vinted. Vinted first, then eBay, Depop not mentioned once. And when eBay was mentioned, it was, oh yeah, my mum buys from eBay, my dad buys from eBay. or sold on eBay before. And I've been feeling this for a little while now, like the past couple of years. eBay, because it's been around so long, 30 plus years, is now seen, well, not really seen as a dinosaur one, but it is seen as the older generation, sort of my age. So I'm 35 next month, gold. But it's definitely getting away from the younger audience, and Vinted is grabbing that. And they're doing so well with it. And because eBay has been around for so long, it's quite hard to just completely rip up the platform, rip up the app, start again from the ground up. Yeah, it's too old in the tooth for that, and it works.
Do you think eBay bought Depop because of this very reason? Because it's aware of its like vibe that I've been talking about, how they realize that their demographic is an older generation and they want to tap into a younger generation. And then Moon, I saw your comment that you say, I hope they leave Depop alone and just passively own. I think that would be very smart, but eBay is a legacy brand. I feel like they've been around so long, and often with a lot of time and a lot of power, they just want to like get their hands into everything. You know how the boomers think they're always right? The boomers are not always right, but they think they're right, so they just put their little grubby hands in there. I don't know the age or the background of the eBay executives or who owns them, but I would love to know the dynamic with the top leadership board of Depop and eBay and how they're going to interact together. But I do think what Depop has been doing has been incredibly successful for so long. I think at this point it's just trying to expand their reach, and if eBay has the funds, or had the funds, then did have the funds to buy Depop to expand their reach, I think what they did was incredibly smart. But at the same time, it does jeopardize like Depop, because like if they're under the wings of a major, like what I say is competitor, then are some things going to change so it works in favor of like eBay's platform? Do they want to transfer over Depop users into eBay, or like vice versa? Like, I just want to know the game plan. Newbies thinks that there is no way eBay is going to be a passive owner. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I'm worried for the resellers more so than anything else. Like, people live off of this. They resell clothing for a living. So if these two major forces are coming together, that can change so many things. Like he was saying, the YouTuber was saying, / reseller, Etsy came in and that changed so much. He's been struggling to sell. He's been changing his strategy, like cross-listing. These changes mean the change of life for the resellers. How do I say this? I said that wrong. When something major like this happens, it changes the life of the reseller. It changes how much they're making, and that really affects the quality of life that they have. So that's what I'm concerned about, their quality of life. I don't care about if Depop is going to make more money because of this. I don't care if eBay has lost money because of this. What I'm truly focused on is the people, like the normal people using these apps to make money, whether it's passive income, like a side hustle, or like their full-time job. Like I want them to eat. I want them to afford dinner. That is who I'm concerned about. Newbie says you don't stack the C-suite with your own executives to be a passive owner. Theories. Interesting.
It's the majority of my income, so it does very well. But so you've got to think of the future. The younger audience, as they get older, if they don't use eBay at all, it's going to slip away eventually. And this is why I think this is a brilliant move by eBay, buying Depop. Especially buying Depop, a whole platform that's ready built and been around for a while, for under £1 billion UK pounds, £890 million. That seems cheap to me, to buy a whole platform, especially like, obviously talking big businesses, lots of money. That seems a bit of a bargain. The deal's not going through till the end of Q2 apparently, so middle of this year, May probably time, I'd say. You can still buy, you can still sell as you are until the deal goes through, and then eBay will take over. And I reckon they're going to bring Depop back to life. Because let's face it, Vinted is here to stay, and it's doing really, really well. I sell that as well. I also buy a lot. It's quick, it's easy, it's user friendly. It's very much of the social media type, so you don't know what's going to come up next. It's sort of through of the hunt and things like that, whereas eBay is very much, you need to sort of know what you're looking for, type it in. So eBay isn't really like Vinted, but with purchasing Depop, that is already built in. It did start out with social media sort of vibes, like likes, follows, there's a timeline and things like that. There still is, I believe. I don't really shop on them myself, but is sort of ready to go. It used to have a heyday, and I reckon eBay can bring it back, whilst also trying to compete with Vinted for that younger audience. And 90% of their users being 34, my age, and below, yeah, it seems like a no-brainer to me. And exciting if you're a reseller or you sell online at all, because it just means more places, more competitiveness to sell our gear. And that's what we need. I always say it, we're not a museum. I'm in the selling business, not the storage business. So if I've got eBay and Vintage chugging away, and then Depop suddenly rises and starts getting more sales, that's just more money for me coming in, get it out. Everyone should be winning. It also took away the fear that I always had at the back of my mind. I don't think I've ever said it out loud, but there was always that fear of eBay could then suddenly buy Vinted. I think they did try early doors.
Newbie, you're saying that you think we're underestimating how huge eBay is? They sold nearly $80 billion worth of merchandise on their platform last year. Depop did $1 billion. Well, I didn't know the exact numbers, but I assume that. That's a lot of money. Holy moly. Holy moly. What does 80 billion look like? Oh my god, that's a lot of numbers. Dude, this man is like losing his brain trying to be strategic. His brain is going in circles trying to figure out how to not make his storage room a museum. And meanwhile, we have eBay with $80 billion being sold. $80 billion, dude. I'm just worried for the resellers, if anything. Hopefully the changes are not too major. And if they are major, hopefully they work in advantage to the people using the site. Because isn't it supposed to be tailored for the sellers to like actually be successful? If the resellers are not successful, then like how is eBay, how is Depop going to be successful? So I think it's in their interest to work towards the interest of the reseller, no? Or maybe that's just idealism, that the brands work in favor of people. What an ideal thing to think about, huh? I'm going to move on, though, just for sake of time. I did see... No. No. No, the brand will never work in favor of the people, no matter if it's reliant on the people to make the money. Interesting. They work for themselves. I like positivity, and the newbie is being a little bit pragmatic, but I'm hopeful that it does work out. It doesn't look like it's gonna do so well, but we'll see. We will see. Facts and logic, noob. Is that for him to use facts and knowledge, or because he's using facts and knowledge? See, I like delusion. I like to manifest my inner white man delusion. You know, a lot of white men have a lot of delusion in them, and they're so full of like audacity, and I like to manifest that. So I'm gonna be delusional, I'm gonna have audacity, and I'm gonna say it's gonna work. And my eyelash is like off center. Dude, look at that. A white man would never struggle with eyelashes. My eyelashes are so bad. I think I fixed it. Okay. I think I'm back now. The Twitch, the OBS thing was messing up again. But I'm going to move on. So basically I want to talk about how there was a bunch of randos talking shadoodles against the Smithsonian. And they were really hateful against the Latina Power merch they had. Okay, let us look into the videos. So there's a couple videos I want to start off with, and then I'll give more context because there's a lot to uncover.
The Smithsonian's National Museum of America.
That is not the one I want to start off with. There's another one.
President Trump.
That is not the one. There is a lot. Okay, maybe just click on the first link. Okay.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a...
Moon says, yes, we must cultivate the inner straight white man of a good income. Exactly. Quote that. Quote that and put it in the quote thing. Quote yourself.
What is Latina power?
What is Latino power?
Latina power.
Latina power.
would be the forces derived from being a Latina.
Do you think that it's appropriate for the Smithsonian Institution to sell Latina power paraphernalia? Hats, mugs, other things that say Latina power?
I believe that the merchandise our store sells
I'm asking you if it's appropriate.
tries to reflect the richness of the communities.
So your testimony is that it is appropriate?
Those are your words, sir.
I'm asking you, is it appropriate to sell Latina power paraphernalia? It's a yes or no question.
I don't have control over what is sold
I'm
in our
asking you if it's
stores.
appropriate. I didn't ask you if you have control over it. Is
I
it
understood you,
appropriate?
sir. Yeah.
Yes or no?
Again, we strive to represent all Americans, and including
Is it
in our
appropriate, yes or
merchandise.
no?
We strive to represent all Americans in our museums, including in our merchandise.
Is that right? My
Yes,
time's
sir.
up.
Thank you, sir.
Do you guys want to watch that one more time? Who feels rage baited? That man is a rage baiter. Yes or no? Yes or no? Let's watch that one more time. I was laughing because it's so bad and I disagree with Brandon. To be clear, obviously I disagree with Brandon. It's just the way that he goes about it. He comes across like a private school kid trying to like win a joke against the president of something or like the principal of a school. His name is Brandon, yes. Okay, let's try that one more time.
What is Latina power?
What is Latino power?
Latina power.
Latina power would be the forces derived from being a Latina.
Do you think that it's appropriate for the Smithsonian Institution to sell Latina power paraphernalia? Hats, mugs, other things that say Latina power?
I believe that
God,
the merchandise our store sells
I'm asking you if it's appropriate.
tries to reflect the richness of the communities.
So your testimony is that it is appropriate?
Those are your words, sir.
I'm asking you, is it appropriate to sell Latina power paraphernalia? It's a yes or no question.
I don't have control over what is sold
I'm
in our
asking you if it's
stores.
appropriate. I didn't ask you if you have control over it. Is
I
it
understood you,
appropriate?
sir. Yeah.
Yes or no?
Again, we strive to represent all Americans, and including
Is it
in our
appropriate? Yes or
merchandise.
no?
We strive to represent all Americans in our museums, including in our merchandise.
Is that right? My
Yes,
time's
sir.
up.
Thank you, sir.
What was that smirk? He's such an asshole. Dude, what is wrong with these people? It's almost like they're NPC players. Oh my god, it's an SNL skit. That's how I'm treating this. It is crazy. Moon, let's fight him. Close your damn mouth. I bet Brandon can't even spell Latina. I doubt he can spell power unless it's preceded by white. Oh my god. Do you guys want to watch that one more time? Let's watch that one more time. Dude, I lost viewers when I started watching this. I guess it was too much for them to handle. Oh my gosh, it became political and they're gone. Well, let's watch it one more time.
What is Latina power?
What is Latino power?
Latina power.
Latina power would be the forces derived from being a Latina.
Do you think that it's appropriate for the Smithsonian Institution to sell Latina power paraphernalia? Hats, mugs, other things that say Latina power?
I believe that the merchandise our store sells
I'm asking you if it's appropriate.
tries to reflect the richness of the communities.
So your testimony is that it is appropriate?
Those are your words, sir.
I'm asking you, is it appropriate to sell Latina power paraphernalia? It's a yes or no question.
I don't have control over what is sold
I'm
in our
asking you if it's
stores.
appropriate. I didn't ask you if you have control over it. Is
I
it
understood you,
appropriate?
sir. Yeah.
Yes or no?
Again, we strive to represent all Americans, and including
Is it
in our
appropriate? Yes or
merchandise.
no?
We strive to represent all Americans in our museums, including in our merchandise.
Is that right? My
Yes,
time's
sir.
up.
Thank you, sir.
I want to punch him so bad. I want to punch him so bad. Do I have permission to fight him? The way that he says power is taking me out. Dude, it was so bad. And the thing is, he has a history of saying contentious things. Like, he is incredibly right-wing. So, like, this is nothing compared to other stuff that he has talked about. But I do want to cover some other stuff that the Smith I cannot even. That the Smith I'm trying not to get pissed off. They've called the Smithsonian woke. So this is what is happening in the world? Just watch the video. Fox does not like what's going on. Let's see about the woke display. The woke displays, I'm sorry.
History teaches everything except history. The White House accusing the Smithsonian Museum of replacing American history with left-wing activism. Look at some of these examples. Quote, remembering the nuclear family as, quote, white culture, dedicating an entire exhibit to transgender youth, and claiming that Mickey Mouse is, you got it, racist. The director of the museum was on Capitol Hill this week, where she tried her best to defend the woke label. Watch this.
Do you believe that men can become women?
Ma'am, as the director of the museum, that's not relevant in this case.
It's very relevant. You've got men dressed up as women, and you have them on displays in front of kids.
In another exhibit, a 6-year-old girl asked why she doesn't have male genitalia. Do you really think that content is appropriate for children?
I believe the exhibition and project you're referring to is Girlhood It's Complicated, which was a temporary exhibit in our museum that closed, I believe, in 2020.
Ma'am, I didn't ask you that.
Yes, sir?
Is it important to be polite?
Yes, sir.
Can you help me square why your organization says that being polite is part of being a white supremacist?
I'm not exactly familiar with that passage.
Well, GOP rising star Congressman Brandon Gill had his latest viral moment during that exchange, and he joins us now. I wish we could have kept going because you really had her over the coals. Congressman, here's what's interesting to me. So the Smithsonian gets $1.75 billion. That's their budget. 62% of that comes from the federal government. Why don't we have more say over what's going on inside of there?
Well, that's exactly.
To be clear, I'm against Fox News. This is just merely for us to understand why we don't need wokeness over history and the allegation that there's left-wing activism in what is supposed to be a historical site. I do not agree with Fox News, to be clear. This is the opposition that I'm hearing from. I too want to punch him. I too want to cut that lady's hair. Yeah, you really had her over the coals. They were unlit. The way that they're like thinking they're doing something with all of this is actually really concerning, and their questions are so odd. It's so odd. There's so much bigotry. There's so much racism. There's so much colonialism entrenched in every single thing they're about to say. If I had hours to dissect everything, I would. But you guys know exactly what's going on. What they're going to discuss is going to be incredibly problematic. Please try to control the rage bait in yourself as much as possible, because I'm going to get rage baited, I'm going to get angry, and I'm just laughing because that's how I deal with it. Carrie says he has a very punchable face. Moon says that she wants to push him in a puddle. Newbie is yelling in the chat, analyzing how nonsensical they're being. Yeah, smack that man. I'm a non-violent person, but I do concede he does have a very smackable face.
What we're trying to do, I think if you zoom out, the American people are so sick of seeing the left take control of iconic American institutions like the Smithsonian Institution. The American people want to go to visit Washington, D.C. and go to these museums and see objective American history. They want to see a museum that's funded by taxpayers that is promoting patriotism, that promotes American ideals and values, and instead they get this kind of woke nonsense. So that's what we're trying to do, is to say, listen, we're done with this. You're no longer going to denigrate America, denigrate the American people, and promote values that most people in this country find repulsive. We're going to return to the core purpose of the—
Speak for yourself, brother. He just called these displays repulsive.
Smithsonian Institution, which is to promote history and to teach people things.
Yeah, and to inspire us and unite us as a country instead of dividing us. I've been complaining about the Smithsonian, Brandon Gill, maybe since before you were born, because they've been turning them into these woke cathedrals, these identity politics, experiments, and our kids have to go through it, and we have to pay for it. Here's why I love President Trump. He's taking it on as well. Here's an executive order from President Trump. He says the Secretary of Interior shall install temporary signage along the NPS maintained sidewalks and walkways used by the public to access the museum. Such signage shall notify visitors that the museum exhibits should be renovated, consistent with the findings of the reports, and direct visitors to locations and resources for accurate information regarding America's history. In other words, there are signs outside of the museum now being put up by President Trump saying the stuff in here isn't accurate. Let me tell you where you can get accurate stuff.
No, I need them to take those signs off. Dude, this is why I got so tired by the end of the day. I was listening to this stuff and I was like, I cannot with my country. I cannot. What is happening? Why is this? This is like, of all the things that Trump can be worried about, he's putting signs up to make sure that they're trying to get accurate information from the U.S. history books into there. Bro, what? It's like a warning of like, you're possibly gonna get brainwashed in this place, so just make sure. What? Woke Cathedral is gonna be my new social media handle. Guys, my stomach hurts. This angers me so much. Trump mandates signs directing Smithsonian Smithsonian visitors to accurate info. Oh my God, we're so cooked.
I like that he's doing that, but it's not enough, right?
Not enough.
Well, I think it's a great first step, and I'm glad that he's being very clear with the American people that we're not going to tolerate this anymore. Ultimately, what I think we need to see is the museum clean house. I mean, I want to see Director Hardig fired. I think most of their staff probably need to be fired as well.
Why?
We need to replace them with people who actually do revere American history and, as you mentioned, want to inspire the American people. But what I will say is this is the first time, I think, that we've had a president who takes this stuff seriously, who doesn't just look the other way and allow the left to continue their long march through the institutions and continue shoving leftism down our throats and down the throats of our children. And I think that's what is so refreshing about the president here.
Yeah, and distorting our history. It's really part of the Marxist playbook. I'll tell you this, Brandon, our Congressman, I was on a board for the Latino museum, and I thought—
You were on the board for the Latino museum? You fucking troll. Oh my God, she has a special place after she—
maybe I could help shape it, right? Like, it's going to happen. I don't really love these identity politics museums. I don't think that's how these Smithsonian museums should be organized. I got on the board. I thought I could change it. I realized I could not, and I quickly got myself off of it and called congressmen and told them to defund it. But I believe that what needs to happen, and I just want a yes or no from you, shouldn't we just remake the whole thing? It should be, you should be able to walk through the museums chronologically from—
What is wrong with this woman? Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. You try to get on the board of a Latino museum to change its ways against identity politics. You failed. You try to take away their funds. You woman. You evil, evil woman. We have failed you so miserably. You are so evil. The American culture has failed you. She's heartless. Oh my god. This is the worst of the worst presented before us. Hi, Kay. There's nothing happening that's rage baitable right now. It's everything is fine. Everything's fine. There's a special place in HE double hockey sticks. You missed a lot, Kay. Let's just play it back a bit. So we're talking about the Smithsonian. I cannot say the Smithsonian. The Smithsonian supposedly has been allegedly putting left-wing activism in their displays, and far-right Republicans are basically saying that it's not representative of U.S. values, and basically one person was saying that they shouldn't be selling Latina power hats. And then now Fox News is saying that they need to really change the Smithsonian, change everything to have American values back in there, especially after Trump made statements that they're not properly giving out the right American history that is needed. My eyelash is messed up, but now there's signs directing visitors to the quote-unquote right history in the Smithsonian. So if you want to avoid left-wing activism, the signs will show you where to avoid the leftism. All because Trump is like, oh, they're giving fake history. I'm gonna remove these eyelashes, but did that make sense? You can also watch the VOD for a full perspective, because it's a lot to cover again. But let's just rewind it a bit so you can watch this part.
From, when the Native Americans were here to the conquistadors all the way through. And then we see where all these different groups interact with American history instead of having, as I said, these cathedrals to different identities. Your thoughts?
100%. That's exactly what we need. In other words, we need an actual objective telling of American history, not at looking back on the American story and grouping different people into racial or ethnic groups, or groups based on their gender or their sexuality or their immigration status, as the left likes to commonly say. We are one American people, and I think that's what we need to see.
Amen to that. Keep working on it. Let us know as you progress. It's not enough to call them out. We need to remake the whole darn thing.
Right.
Thank you, Congressman.
That's right. Thanks for having me.
You got it.
Be sure
Wait, did I not rewind it? I thought I rewinded it. Okay, let me rewind it a bit more so you can watch everything. I didn't rewind it. Give me 1 second.
There are signs outside of the museum now being put up by President Trump saying the stuff in here isn't accurate. Let me tell you where you can get accurate stuff. I like that he's doing that, but it's not enough, right?
Well, I think it's a great first step, and I'm glad that he's being very clear with the American people that we're not going to tolerate this anymore. Ultimately, what I think we need to see is the museum clean house. I mean, I want to see Director Hardig fired. I think most of their staff probably need to be fired as well. We need to replace them with people who actually do revere American history and, as you mentioned, want to inspire the American people. But what I will say is this is the first time, I think, that we've had a president who takes this stuff seriously, who doesn't just look the other way and allow the left to continue their long march through the institutions and continue shoving leftism down our throats and down the throats of our children. And I think that's what is so refreshing about the president here.
Yeah, and distorting our history. It's really part of the Marxist playbook. I'll tell you this, Brandon, Congressman, I was on a board for the Latino Latino museum, and I
freak you lady, freak you lady, freak you lady, freak you lady, freak you lady. I'm sorry, YouTube. I'm sorry. Okay, I said it was rage bait content. I should have warned UK. This is rage bait content. I'm sorry if you're getting mad. It is it's absurd what Fox News is saying right now. Marissa says their commitment to erasure is so deeply upsetting to my soul. It really is. That's why I got so tired today. I was saying, oh my god, like I'm so tired. I need a day off. This is why. It made me so upset. I wanted to cry. It's just I couldn't like give away what I was gonna say in the stream. You know what I mean? It's very disturbing what life is like what's happening in life. It's very, very disturbing. I've been trying to like be normal for the past couple hours because of it, but it's none of this can be normalized. None of this can be digested and you feel nice afterwards, especially if you care for Latinos, especially if you care for those that have built this country. Like, we are a melting pot, and I'm sure you guys agree. I hope you guys agree. Newbie says American history is the blood, sweat, and tears of women, Hispanics, Asians, Natives, Blacks, and Arabs. Yes, thank you for sharing that. Kay says Trump is the proud owner of like 16 failed and bankrupted businesses. He cannot so kindly keep his molded mouth shut. So he cannot so kindly. He should keep his mouth shut. He should shut up. What did you pin, Gary? I bet Brandon can't spell Latina. I doubt he can spell power unless it's preceded by way. Oh, you pinned newbies. Yeah, that one was a good one. We need to quote that one in the wall too.
I thought maybe I could help shape it, right? Like, it's going to happen. I don't really love these identity politics museums. I don't think that's how these Smithsonian museums should be organized. I got on the board. I thought I could change it. I realized I could not, and I quickly got myself off of it and called congressmen and told them to defund it. But I believe that what needs to happen, and I just want a yes or no from you, shouldn't we just remake the whole thing? It should be, you should be able to walk through the museums chronologically from when the Native Americans were here to the conquistadors, all the way through, and then we see where all these different groups interact with American history, instead of having, as I said, these cathedrals to different identities. Your thoughts?
100%. That's exactly what we need. In other words, we need an actual objective telling of American history, not at looking back on the American story and grouping different people into racial or ethnic groups, or groups based on their gender or their sexuality or their immigration status, as the left likes to commonly say. We are one American people, and I think that's what we need to see.
Amen to that. Keep working on it. Let us know as you progress. It's not enough to call them out. We need to remake the whole darn thing.
Right.
Thank you, Congressman.
That's right. Thanks for having me.
You got it.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox 1.
Ay, 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 como me duele. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Como me duele. Da, 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 da. Let's listen to the tomato about the Smithsonian. Let's listen to him. Not because I want to, but to hear from him directly.
Trump has directed that new signs be placed near the Smithsonian's National Museum of American History. They will say the exhibits inside should be renovated to reflect a recent review by the White House Domestic Policy Council. The resulting report complained the museum views American history as a tool to advance ideas of social justice and the radical transformation of society. The Smithsonian's director, Anthea Hartig, was recently grilled by Republican members of the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform. The president's executive order makes a specific reference. Because the museum has failed to appropriately honor the 56 signers of the Declaration of Independence during this 250th anniversary year of the founding of our country, the Secretary of the Interior shall install temporary exhibits or signage on National Park Service maintained sidewalks, walkways, and land used by the public that corrects inaccurate information presented in the museum.
It's the flag that inspired the national anthem, the gunboat, right, during the Revolutionary War. Like I said, there's a MAGA hat in the exhibit, very prominently displayed. There's Ronald Reagan iconography. This is not a tear America down by any stretch of the imagination.
Dalek says revising based on new information is part of the job for historians, but doing it for ideology is not.
It's sad for the country because by weaponizing that history, he's depriving even his own supporters of just a more nuanced understanding of the American past that actually makes you, I think, appreciate it even more.
No timeline has been announced for when the new signs will be installed. President Trump...
Has that been enough rage bait for you guys? Kay has asked a very interesting question. Why do we have a man with dementia in charge of this country? That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. I wish it changes very soon. I do want to reiterate, this country is full of very beautiful, diverse people. We're a melting pot. And I think what the Smithsonian has been doing is beautiful. I think it is accurate of American history. I disagree with Trump's distaste to what they're doing. I disagree with the signage. I disagree on Fox News's statement on stuff. I think we're so much more beautiful and powerful as a community when we accept each other, when we see the true history of the melting pot. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I'm kind of lost. I'm at a loss for words here. I don't... I think it's just really sad that so many people continue to be dismissed, demeaned, oppressed for the name that, for the story that the white man. Getting pissed off. My brain is not thinking clearly. I will always support the Latina power hats. I will support the Latinos, Latinas, the Native Americans, those that do not fall into typical gender roles. If you're transgender, I love that. If you want to be a boy and a girl, I love that. If you come from a different country, I love that. I think we're all just better accepting each other and our differences. I don't know. I don't know what else to say, to be honest. I don't know what's wrong with these people. Kay says the things that they say are crazy. It's hard to find words to say half the time. The pink Latina power hats are so girly pop. I know, right? These were the hats that he was so bothered about. I should be more eloquent about this. I mean, I've worked in Latinx constituency stuff for activism for a long while. I should be more eloquent right now, but I think what matters is that what they're saying is wrong. Two-Spirit people are gorgeous. Yes, I used to work with a Two-Spirit Native American in Montana. She was beautiful. She was a single mom in governmental housing, and she was one of the strongest person I've ever known in my life, and she was so generous. She was so in tune with the world, and she was so like optimistic despite everything against our odds. And she's now such a beautiful, powerful like union organizer, and her spirit is amazing, and she inspired me so much. And like before I left Montana, like I was just so sad to see her go. I should release the YouTube video that I have, but I vlogged the last couple of days of me being in Montana, and I went to some mountains in Yellowstone, and it was her, the Native American Two-Spirit single mother, and it was mixed African American / I think German, my friend. Sorry, it's bringing up a lot of memories, and I have like PTSD. But beautiful, beautiful boy. They would change genders or transgender. They love plants, and beautiful Caucasian woman who was LGBTQ. She loved girlies. I think she had a crush on me. But she was too young. She was too young, but she was beautiful. And yeah, I'm gonna move on. I think there's just beauty in so many different identities. Anyways. Oh my god, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. This is good. Okay. But there's like good stuff happening, no? Like the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures has a future exhibition called Cinelandia, where it's gonna feature Mexican American cinema. It's gonna run from September 25th, 2027 through July 23rd, 2028. If you're not familiar, let me show you the website. So basically, yes, celebrating Mexican American cinema. The exhibition is going to feature a lot of films from the 1960s to the 80s, the 90s, to the 2000s, all revolving around Mexican culture, their identity, their history. I will love to go to this, but I don't know if I can ever afford to go. But we can look at like the venue just to do some little research. It is happening in a year, so maybe I'll go. Okay, what are you asking? Gender fluid? Like my friend that was mixed? My friend that was African American / German. They were switching back and forth from female to male all the times. So like I knew them for about 3 years, and they switched back and forth. So I don't even know what gender is appropriate to call them because I haven't been in touch with them. So yeah, I guess you picked up on the fact that I didn't know how to label them. I often didn't know how to label my friends because they were like so fluid in a lot of things. I was like labeled a neurotypical person. Like I looked the most neurotypical. I was straight. I didn't like date really. I've never been much of a dater, and everybody around me was so full of like love and would just explore so many different things, gender, love, identity. And they would always call me like the conservative out of the group because they were just like so beautiful in their own ways. So I always strive to be more like them, but yeah, I've been pretty confident that I'm a female, and it doesn't take anything away from them. It's just I try to respect them as much as I could, even though I didn't always 100% understand. I've never been on the LGBTQ thing. I liked guys, but just seeing how much they loved people and loved in so many different ways. They were like in poly situations all the time. Was so amazing. I'm not neurotypical. My brain processes information differently. I'm neurodivergent, but I don't think it's that much. I don't have a lot of neurodivergence. I have the need to be alone all the time though. But I'm just really introverted, and I'm highly nonverbal. I think I just trained my brain to be highly neurotypical to have the best chances to survive in life, that I could not break away from it. Like my brain is incredibly structured to act a certain way, to be a certain way, to succeed in a neurotypical world. And then my friends knew that, everybody around me knew that. It's just I was never willing to explore stuff outside of what the norm was because I wanted to succeed all the time. And like to be different, to be unique, or to like be just outside of the conformity is like a threat basically to your safety, to your success. I know this sounds like bad to say, but I'm just being honest. I've always tried to play into the structure, but my brain does work differently. That is something I was never able to fix or reform. It's just, yeah, masking. Yeah, it's essentially masking is the right word. I've tried everything to mask my entire life, The main thing in my head has always been to be successful in the things that I want to do, and it's just the world is not built for me, so I had to sacrifice some things. But I also don't have the tendency or like the desire to like date females or date other genders besides men. Like I don't find women attractive in that way. I didn't have the desire to like date around. I'm just a very introverted person. I'm very picky, and I'm very just like closed off in general. I'm not a very emotional person. So like I could if I wanted to, but like the fear of not succeeding in this world and like my tendencies of wanting to be left alone just kind of added to like the results of my life. But I still respect the beauty of the people around me. I still respect their desires. I still respect their identities. I still respect the diversity around me. Is just some people are just different, you know what I mean? And I truly love them for that. And they understood me, which I really appreciated. I really appreciated that. Okay, we're not talking about the beautiful bug fashion show. Okay, they were beautiful, but like, okay, I never said I didn't have TISM. I said I'm neurodivergent, but not that much. Okay? Dang. I admitted it. Guys, I admitted it. I'm not going to be like 100% down with it. Like, that's not who I am. I think I just gave clarity that I have played the neurotypical game, and you guys sometimes see the more neurotypical moments, and sometimes you see the more neurodivergent moments. I pick and choose. But some things are just the way they are because I want to succeed in this world that does not accept people like me. I know you weren't trying to like do anything with that comment. It's just I know what I have, and I appreciate you seeing it. It's just I don't want people to often see it. So thank you.
Century, it has been a dream. On September 30th, it becomes a reality. The Academy Museum of Motion Pictures will open, creating a home to celebrate and explore the diverse and complex tales behind the movies we love.
Also, this is like where they're gonna have the exhibition at. This was first opening, so this is just like a layout of the building. Have I taken the raids R? No, what is that?
First time. The massive 300,000 square foot campus features two breathtaking designs that forever changed the landscape of Los Angeles. One is a stunning restoration of a building from Hollywood's classical era. The other, an awe-inspiring glass sphere housing a state-of-the-art 1,000-seat theater. And featuring a fifth-floor terrace that delivers show-stopping views of the city. Dynamic galleries and multi-screen exhibitions will immerse you in movie magic like never before. From directors and their inspirations to special effects artists and their creations, every dimension of the filmmaking process will be explored in new and engaging ways. And in the interactive Oscars experience, visitors can replicate the thrill of accepting an Oscar. The Academy Museum is not just a celebration of the movies and the people who make them. It is an extraordinary destination for everyone who loves movies. The museum opens September 30th, but showtime starts right now. Register to become a museum insider at
Okay, isn't that so cool? I want to go. It's in LA though. If I save up enough money, maybe I can go by next summer. Wait, I could probably go next summer. That would be so fun to watch Mexican American films in there. But okay, we're entering the more fun segment of this stuff. So I do want to look at this H&M store that they have that's so unique. I don't support H&M, but I think their marketing is becoming a bit more innovative, and I just found this like so interesting. Like the visuals is so interesting. Have you ever seen an H&M store look like this? It gives like Gentle Monster vibes. Have you guys heard of Gentle Monsters?
청소에서 멜로가 전시회를 열었습니다.
Josie, welcome back. We're actually looking at a really fun H&M store. I've never seen this type of H&M store, so it's just interesting to see how they're marketing themselves in different places. Why was I held back by the mods? I think you were so excited to be back. Oh, the K's. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, Carrie, yeah, I think that's why. There was too many K's.
제 뒤에 있는 이 엄청난 이 구조물을 제가 6개월 동안 준비해서 H&M 팀들과 함께 만들었는데요. 인간이 젠더가 없이 모든 사람을 대표하는 그런 따뜻한 인물을 만들려고 만든 아이라는 캐릭터예요. 밖에서 쇼윈도에 보면 눈이 사람들을 이렇게 팔로잉 하거든요. 이 아이라는 캐릭터가 나를 바라보고 나도 아이를 바라보고 자연스럽게 여기 공간 안으로 들어오게 약간 유혹하는 듯한 거를 모티브로 한 작품입니다. 그리고 여기는 마법의 1.5층이라는 공간인데
Twitch told you I ended my freaking stream? Are you serious? No. No. I swear to God, OBS is being screwy with me. No. Okay. Let's just keep watching this.
여기 제가 이쁘게 꾸며놓은 말이 한 마리 있어요. 유니콘인데 이 말이 되게 센시티브해서 Do not depress the horse. 말을 우울하게 만들면 안 되고 셀피만 찍을 수 있어요. 그리고 이거는 제가 말과 함께 찍은 약간 사진 같은 거를 저의 초상화처럼 이렇게 같이 만들어 봤습니다. 들어와서 horse를 만나보세요. 짜잔! 핑크 머리, 저랑 지금 매칭 핑크 머리 하고 있거든요. 그리고 이것도 제가 다 horse 기분 좋으라고 꾸며 놓은 거예요. 그리고 자세히 얼굴을 보면은 얘가 웃고 있어요. 보이나요? 이 걸들은 H&M에서 사람들한테 셀피 찍으려는 공간으로 만들었는데 제가 이 horse를 안에 둬서 같이 외롭지 않게 셀카 찍을 수 있게 만들어 봤습니다. 여기는 2.5층 엘리베이터 공간이었었는데 제가 여기를 슈링크 룸이라고 작아진 공간으로 만들었어요. 안에 들어오면 토끼들이 갬블링 하고 있거든요. 이쪽 정면에서 바라보면 얘네들이 웃고 있지만 거울에 비친 얘네 얼굴은 약간 투정 부리는 얼굴을 하고 있거든요. 왜냐면 얘네들이 저한테 게임에 졌거든요. 그래서 여기 들어와서 이 친구들의 얼굴 보면서 약간 기분 좋.
I'm trying to pretend what they're saying. I'm pretending to know what they're saying. I'm pretending to say what they're saying, but I have no clue what they're saying. I'm not even reading the captions, but the aesthetics of this is so beautiful. I hate how it's H&M and then it's fast fashion, but all of this is so artistic. But like it's also like alluding to the fact that they have to push the needle even more to sell us their badly made fast fashion. Like all of this effort to make us buy stuff from them. Like at this point they're selling an experience and then you get merch from that experience, which is their products. I feel like that's what's happening.
라고 연출해본 방입니다. 지금 보여드릴 작품은 제가 진짜 제일 좋아하는 귀여운 쿠루라는 캐릭터인데 저희 집 고양이의 영감을 받아서 만든 캐릭터예요. 한번 보러 갈까요? 쿠루.
I kind of low-key want to wear what she's wearing. Do you see the lace outfit? She looks so cool. Dude, this reminds me so much of Gentle Monster. I'm going to pull it up right now just so I can give you the comparison. But Gentle Monster is one of my favorite brands, low-key. I have never bought from them, but like their artistic direction is so good. And I'm like dying to go visit a store and just like buy one thing. I don't know if it's ethically made. I don't know if it's like good in general or sustainable in general. It's just the visuals get me all the time. Look at this is one of their stores. Doesn't it look so like in concept? The concepts are so similar. see what I mean? Do you like see what I mean? Like there's a lot of visually appealing things. This one was not that cute compared to other ones that I've seen. They've done more cutesy displays. This one was a bit off-putting with the heads and stuff. But here's another interesting store. It's like an exhibition, basically.
It's off and it blows like no other.
It's like, am I buying the product or am I buying the experience of the exhibition? But like, it's so surrealistic that I want to go. They, Gentle Monster, I know them for their eyewear. They're mostly like an eyewear brand. The video is bad because it's the video, not because of my stream, by the way. This video sucks. Okay, we see that. Okay, I think we get the point. The guy needs to work on his YouTube skills. But you get the point. So it kind of reminds me of that vibe. So when we go back to this is a much cuter version of that, but it kind of gives like the same vibes of like, oh, this is an exhibition.
김크루. 저희 집 고양이가 만질 때마다 크르릉 크르릉 이런 소리 많이 내거든요. 그래서 크루라고 이름 지었고 항상 한쪽 눈을 약간 이렇게 의심하듯이 뜨고 있어요. 그래서 눈을 제가 그렇게 카피해서 만들었지만 얘는 토끼라는 거. 여기는 뮤직룸이라는 곳인데 이제 사람들이 쇼핑하다가 지칠 때 잠깐 들어와서 쉴 수 있는 룸이거든요. 그래서 여기에 되게 레이브 느낌의 포스터들이 붙어 있고 여기 제가 만든 믹스테이프 CD가 들어 있어요.
Okay, this is all super cool. It's just, is this enough to justify buying fast fashion? Carrie, you raise an important point. You say, I feel that it could be more for the experience, but I'm not sure about the quality of the eyewear. I think all of this is I think all of this is a distraction for you to like go there, experience it, film it, take an Instagram photo. You maybe buy something. With H&M, I feel like it's a bit easier to buy stuff because it's cheaper than like a $300 pair of glasses, which is typically what Gentle Monster costs. But imagine if this dropped in the United States, would we go? If we hated fast fashion, but we're in the United States, would we go to this? I feel like I'd be so tempted to go. But if you don't know what fast fashion is, you're bored, you want a new experience, all you've been exposed to is normal malls, I feel like a lot of people would go to this and maybe buy because of it. You wouldn't go at all? Why? Is it creepy? It is kind of creepy, no? I feel like it's kind of creepy, but like at the same time, it's kind of intriguing. So that's why I would want to go. I would want to go. The thing is about me, is even though things are kind of odd and like something I shouldn't do, I kind of do because it's so odd. You don't. Oh, you wouldn't go because H&M is not your style. Interesting. But I do want to talk about other stuff before I end the stream. I think this is pretty self-explanatory. This one was a fun one. I think one of the main things I want to talk about is how conservatives are getting mad about Care Bears and saying that they're trans. So let's look at this. This happened actually in the UK. So them basically breaks it down. So they explain that there is a exhibition called Villas Revealed. We have always been here. It's going to premiere from January of next year onwards. in the Milton Carnegie, I think that's how it's pronounced, Carnegie Milton Museum, whatever. It's going to be in Leicester. I think Newbie's asleep at this point, so he can't correct me. If he's still awake, I'm going to be so mad. But it's in England, and it centers, so the exhibition centers around George Villiers. Oh God, he's still here. Leicestershire. So this is in Leicestershire, England, and it centers George Villiers. He was the first Duke of Buckingham, who was rumored to have been a lover of King James the First. According to the Culture Leicestershire website, the exhibition expanded beyond his story to explore intersectional queer and trans histories across cultures and time. The digital version of the exhibition, which appears to be what an anti-LGBTQ plus commentators are mad about, encapsulates and expands the original physical exhibition, notably including a student gallery featuring the work of 35 student volunteers at the University of Nottingham. Those students each selected objects that they 3D scanned, adding their own queer interpretations and written contributions to the exhibit. That included a queer/trans reading of the Care Bears toy and greeting cards and greeting card line authored by classic student Bryony Reeves. Namely, Reeves pointed to Funshine Bear, noting that this particular character in the franchise is considered to be transgender or gender fluid. Reeves went on to explain that early versions of Funshine were presented as female, then after 2002, they were depicted as male. I, for one, am here for the unintentional, non-binary Care Bear icon. Nottingham. Okay, thank you so much. Funshine is simple. Funshine. Not Tingham. Not in your ham. Not Tingham. Oh my God, I have a speech impediment. Not Tingham. Okay, I'm going to move on. So Funshine is a symbol for the LGBTQA. I cannot read. Oh my God, you guys are correcting me about what I'm saying and I can't even read. Funshine is a symbol for the LGBTQA community. Having a character like Funshine who transitions with a positive characterization sends a strong message to those going through a similar change. Reeves' digital exhibition text reads, "You are loved and cared for." Okay, so that is the context. Funshine. Holy moly, I'm gonna freaking crash out. I'm trying. Deep breath in, deep breath out.
Anything is possible on Cloud 9. Upgrade your combo or 32-ounce strength to a Cloud 9 cup.
Deep breath out. You're kidding me? You called me oh my God, I'm gonna kill us.
Welcome back, folks. Well, get yourself up to or down to, considering where you live, the Melton Carnegie Museum in Melton Mowbray. There you can find the Villiers Revealed project. It's a Care Bears exhibition. It's been developed by the Culture Leicestershire group, and it highlights...
Leicestershire. It's been developed by the Leicestershire.
Developed by the Culture Leicestershire.
Leicestershire
group.
Leicestershire.
And it highlights Care Bears. That's those toys that were invented.
Let me talk like them. Care Bear. They were invented by the little entrepreneurs that wanted to make a lot of money from the plushies. I'm a British person.
What, in the early 80s? Care Bears, it highlights Care Bears as a symbol for the LGBTQA plus community, and says that some of these bears are indeed transgender or gender fluid. Well, to talk about this highly sane innovation in Leicestershire, let's talk to political commentator Benedict Spence. Well, this is about the fifth story today, Benedict, where I have said, stop the world, I need to get off. It's gone insane. So, as I say, this is a serious exhibition paid for by taxpayers because it's funded by the Arts Council England, so we're paying for it. It's a bunch of teddy bears. And just to explain...
Do you see what's on the screen? Trans teddies. Dude, they make this stuff so funny. We have to pay for it with our taxpayer money. And then they put trans teddies on there. They make it like, what are they trying to do?
In this, the exhibition Bumpf says that one bear, for example, he's called Funshine, has been very variously depicted as male and female since the launch of the toys, and could be considered, this is all written down, a symbol for the LGBTQA+ community and a role model. Having a character like Funshine who transitions with positive characterization sends a strong message to those going through a similar change. It's a teddy bear.
Yeah.
What,
I mean,
where do we start? This is our money. This is our money.
It's our money, and it's what makes this all slightly more maddening is it almost feels as though in the sort of at the height of culture and the height of politics, it does feel as though we've already crested the wave of the trans and LGBTQ plus XYZ mania. Most people are aware of this now. They understand that it is nuts. They're not happy with it. You're already seeing politicians and media figures who a couple of years ago would have probably been very in favor of this sort of thing, rowing back on it. People feel a lot more sort of empowered to talk out about it. You see this especially online. There's a growing cohort of women in particular who feel absolutely no qualms at all with turning around and saying, actually, this stuff is nuts. Why are we going along with it? But at a sort of a lower level, that change in the culture has still not filtered through to other great swathes of what you might call the sort of the artocracy, if you like. So,
Newbie, does your friend sound like this? Do they sound like pretentious white men that are British? The OG British white men, do they sound like that? Not to be mean or anything, but do your friends sound like this? Because honestly, how is this bearable to listen to? Newbie says, God forbid kids feel represented. Yes. God forbid kids feel represented. Carrie says, I can't believe my yellow magical talking bear could possibly be trans. Oh no, a stuffed animal that most kids decide the gender of unless they watch the show is trans. What will I ever do? What will we ever do? Yeah, that's a good chat. I don't know the name of that chatter, to be honest, but that was a good one.
Look at this bear that has no gender.
Yeah, you say quite rightly, Benedict, there's no such thing as that these bears disrupt gender.
Newbie, I know this is Fox UK. I know what I'm listening to. I decided to listen to the opposition today. This is for us to get rage baited. Why would you think I don't know what I'm watching? You have to go walk Simon soon? That's fine. It's okay. Don't worry. Okay, I guess we're done with the rage bait. I feel like I'm already done with the rage bait. I think it's absurd what's happening. I think we need more representation. It doesn't hurt if there's quote-unquote LGBTQ plus Care Bears. I feel like it's actually like really affirming for children that are kind of thinking about their gender, their identity. I think some kids know since very young that they feel a certain way, that they're transgender, or they like women or like girls. Like, I think you know at a pretty young age, I feel like. And if you learn about this later on, that's totally fine. And I think they're pretty cute. I don't know, it doesn't do any harm, I feel like, in my opinion. So I fully support the exhibition. I fully support the Care Bears, the color scheme, the vibes. For those that don't understand, then they just get stuck in negative rhetorics that try to justify their conservative ways. Good night, noob. I think maybe I'll save the rest for Thursday. Care Bear Rainbow. I don't know how other people do it where they like stream for hours and hours and hours. Oh my god, it's $33 on eBay. Give me a second. It's so cute. It's $33. Look at it. Oh my god, it's so cute. I love this one. What? Oh my god, it's so cute. I love this one. What? Dude, the rhetoric from conservatives is... Let me zoom out. My OBS is failing, so I may end sooner. I do want to note that there's a lot going on with AI. So AI is consuming a lot of our energy. There's a lot of data centers being built everywhere across the United States, and I'm sure across the world. And I recently saw that they're scanning and then disposing of millions of books so they can train their AI models, which is very disturbing because we need like real books to be circulating, and not be destroyed in the name of AI. And then I also heard how AI has hacked into other companies. So there's just a lot going on with AI. I feel like this warrants a whole stream in itself. But let's just watch a news section of this to like cover it.
Websites your competitors don't want you to know. Part 2. All you do is go to...
But yeah, there is so much we can discuss on this. There's so much.
Now, but could AI erase the past? Critics is sounding the alarm regarding how companies are training their AI programs and whether big tech is producing more pollution than we originally thought. With reports, tech companies are buying books in bulk, including rare and out-of-print titles, to train their AI models. Critics go on to allege that in an effort to remain anonymous and avoid a PR nightmare, millions of books are allegedly being sold to third-party middlemen. From there, the companies harvest the data using hydraulic cutting machines to slice the spines off the books, scan the individual pages, and then once the...
Yeah, Marissa, I'm still here. What the heck? We're learning about AI and the books that are being destroyed after they're scanned in the system.
Data is digitized, the book remnants head to the shredder. Companies are doing this because books printed before 2022 are guaranteed to be fully written by humans. They say it will eliminate some of the AI slop that's circulated on the internet the past few years, but critics say it comes at the expense of real people, erasing cultural history and destroying our environment. So I'd like to bring in Sultan Megji, CEO of AI software firm Frontier Foundry Corporation. Sultan, always great to talk to you. So first of all, just talk more about why older books or physical books published before 2022 are so appealing to these AI companies when it comes to mining data.
Well, you started off with the most important point, which is before 2022, we know and can verify that a human actually wrote the book versus it coming out of an AI lab or something like that. It's sort of like what we do with steel nowadays. Since 1945, all steel is slightly radioactive. And so when you need steel for, sensitive machinery and things like that, they go and dredge the ocean and find steel that's sunk in ships from before 1945. It's a way of ensuring that you're dealing with human, in fact, positive information.
All right, so a lot of this criticism focuses not only on the AI training itself, but on the actual destruction of the books once they're scanned. Talk about how and why these companies allegedly are choosing to dispose of the books, because we're talking about millions of books.
Yeah, it's a brutally simple reason. It's the destructive scanning is faster and far cheaper. Once you run it through one of these presses, you have just a sheet of paper, and you have millions of sheets of paper. Taking that and then reassembling it is not in their business model. You slice off the spine, you have pages, and there's nothing you can do to repackage it unless you use really expensive robotics, and the market just isn't there for it.
So some small booksellers have reported suddenly going from, just a few sales a week, like 20 sales, to selling hundreds of books per week. But they do believe the customers are likely AI labs. But is there maybe a bit of a silver lining here in that business is being generated, even if that business is ultimately finite?
It is finite. That's a great point. It's a one-off sale. You're not selling 100 books a day or 200 books a day. You're selling 10,000 books in one.
45 is slightly radioactive. You're a radiation nerd, so I gotta look into that. We can also cover that on Thursday. Whatever you find, I can also talk about on Thursday, because I'm only gonna like watch a couple more videos on this and then wrap it up for today. So I will, and I do want to cover this more in detail.
Buy 1,000 books and 5 of them there are only 1,000 copies of, and now all of a sudden that book becomes only available through a paywall through an AI vendor where you don't actually even get to read the book, you just get to read their interpretation of it. It's quite concerning. It leaves a significant portion of human history's knowledge behind a paywall, and all of a sudden I draw parallels back to before the Protestant Reformation, where people weren't allowed to read the Bible in the language they actually spoke.
All right. Sultan Megji, really appreciate your insight today. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app right now on your...
Okay, so there's that, and then there's also a different one that I want to watch, and then we'll close off here. This is the same video. Whoa. This is a YouTuber that I found that made a lot of good analysis on this topic that I agree with.
We are collecting our stories, our history, our culture.
Her name is Dries. She's a YouTuber. She's a smaller creator. She has like less than 4,000 subscribers, but the video is good.
Culture and cutting the spines off of the books that encase them, only to use them as data. AI companies like Anthropic are buying up books in mass only to chop them spines off and use all the pages inside as a data. And they're doing so because it's cheaper, and they ruined the internet with their AI slop, so they can't even use the internet that they have now polluted with all of their AI slop garbage. And that AI slop garbage is only growing. Hey, I'm V, and as a former English teacher, this pisses me off. Also, I think this story has been going underreported, and more people need to know about it. A few outlets have covered it, including 404 Media, Washington Post, Dallas Express, and I'm going to link all of that below so you can read further on the topic. I'm going to do my best to explain the whole situation, how we got here, and where the heck all this is going. I'm also sick, but again, I wanted to talk about this, so excuse my raspy voice and potentially mouth breathing throughout the video. Let's get into it. Over 50% of the internet is now AI bots. This is according to Cloudflare. AI companies that built the AI tools have flooded the internet with them and have destroyed the internet with them. Well, for them at least, because they can't even scrape the internet and our data and use it to build their AI. Because if the next version trains on the dumber version, the next version will also be dumb. This is well documented, and it is called model collapse. Essentially, the AI eats itself and just becomes dumber and dumber. It's like the idiocracy of AI. The outlets that I mentioned earlier, including Washington Post, actually got a hold of these internal documents, literal court filing documents, and verified internal docs say this, quote, court filings unsealed in connection with a copyright lawsuit against Anthropic detailed Project Panama. And that began in 2024. In that internal planning document about Project Panama, it said this, quote, Project Panama is our effort to destructively scan all of the books in the world. In context or out of context, this is objectively evil and heinous. The article does go on to say that within this internal planning document, they found Anthropic saying, quote, that we're using a soft code name for it because we don't want people to know that we're working onto this. And this document is visible to all Anthropic employees, but you should avoid talking about it in public areas. Yeah, you should probably avoid talking about destroying everybody's culture in public areas because people aren't going to like that. The quote continues, and fact is that we are working on all of this should not be shared with anyone outside of Anthropic. It is just honest to God villain behavior, and they're only doing it because it is cheaper and they ruined the internet. There are two more.
I feel like that lady is entering a very dangerous zone. I have never heard of these documents, but if it is real and if she's saying the truth, I think she's gonna make a lot of villains real quick with this YouTube video. Oh my god. Carrie says they're burning up books to feed a machine that makes everything worse. Yes, I agree.
Reasons actually, and it does get worse. The first reason is they know that these books are uniquely human and devoid of all of the AI polluted data that the internet contains. Here is Anthropic's own words on why books? Why destroy the books, guys? Why? Anthropic says this, quote, curated facts, structured arguments, compelling stories, and a writing.
Carrie, do you want to do research on the Anthropic court documents for me, and we can cover this more on Thursday? Because I want to verify that this is like real statements. Allegedly, this is real on her part, but I don't know what these documents are. Do you want to do research on that? Because they're already doing research on other stuff. The Anthropic court documents. I shall try my best. Okay. Only if you want to, and only if you have free time. But if you're already doing research on other stuff, maybe this is a good addition, because it's the background reasoning for what's happening. You have too much free time? Okay. Josie, if you want to help too, you should. You guys should research, because I don't know what this is, and maybe these are all like fake things that the YouTuber is saying. I wish I knew what this was, but this is an introduction for me. So I wouldn't take this as like facts. It's more so like the beginning of our investigations. We love a good research project. Okay. You guys should work together. Do like a Google Doc or something and like put in what you find in there, if that's easier. I always like Google Docs. I don't really like chat messages, but whatever you guys want to do. If you want to work on as a team. But yeah. A Google Doc would be good. Especially because I forget everything. I need good talking points, and I like pulling up a document. So I think that would be better in the long term, because this story is not going to end soon.
An editor would approve of, because books are written by real humans using their real brains and real emotions, probably edited by very real people. These books are crafted and very much cherished by other people. I cherish my books. If anything were to happen to them, I'd be devastated. And now these books are getting weirdly bastardized by AI and ultimately destroyed by its creator. This should be illegal. Aside from the fact that these books are devoid of AI and beautifully crafted, they're also much cheaper to destroy than scanning them in a way that doesn't hurt them. Because yes, there's a way to do it that doesn't hurt the books, but yet these AI companies never take that route. They always take the route that is the most harmful to the environment, the people around it, and anybody else outside of them. They did this because it's cheaper, it's faster, it's the fastest way to do it. The next web source explains this plainly. Quote, scanning at scale usually destroys the books. Workers slice the spines off the loose pages, feed them through the machine, which is faster and cheaper than the careful alternative. Scanning is faster, it's more efficient. For who? Check out this video of how to scan a book that doesn't absolutely obliterate it. This is a machine that is scanning the books without destroying it. It is called a Treventus scanner. I might be saying that wrong, but you could buy it right now. All these AI companies could buy them en masse right now. Books do go in and they come out intact. You can save the books. You can save our history and culture. Yet they don't want to do that. It's cheaper to not do that. That's why they use the water. It's cheaper to not use whatever kind of cooling system they could create that doesn't use our fresh water. They don't care. Anthropic chose the machine with the blade on purpose. And before Project Panama, before the estate sales where they had been buying up all of these books, before the hydraulic cutters that had been slicing off the spines of these books, Anthropic was doing something else. There was LibGen. LibGen, it's a piracy site, you know, the one where you would download a car from. Anthropic downloaded 7 million books from it. They've been at this for a long time. Why did they do that? Well, the CEO of Anthropic told his team exactly why they went to the piracy forums. He said he wanted to avoid, quote, legal practice business slog. He didn't want to do it legally, and he definitely didn't want to pay for it. Cheaper and faster, that is these guys' motto. It would be way too inconvenient for them to just run a business of morals and ethics. And if that's where we're at in 2026, I think as a society, we really need to sit down and have that conversation. My God. This is all predating 2024, Project Panama. In 2022, a new piracy site jumped onto the scene, and Anthropic's co-founder, Ben Mann at the time, sent an internal message out saying this, quote, just in time. Just in time, man, because they downloaded all the books they could possibly download it off of LibGen, and now at least they have this new database that they can tap into. It's great more data, man. Free, efficient. Disgusting. Look how excited this dork is to destroy books. All the exclamation points. Disgusting. And it wasn't just Anthropic either. I know I've been talking a lot about Anthropic, but a Meta employee reviewing the same exact strategy said this: torrenting from a corporate laptop just doesn't feel right. They're doing it too, and they know it's not good. Okay, let's flash back forward real fast into February 2024 when Anthropic hires Tom Turvey. Tom Turvey was the former head of partnerships for Google Books, and this guy whose entire career was digitizing the world's library. However, it was supposed to be for public access.
Okay, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I'm sorry. If you want to read more about this and watch the rest of the video, please do. It is incredibly late for me. I think my head is just Oh, it's just I can't do this anymore. Josie is gonna help Carrie research this. We're gonna touch base on this on Thursday. Thank you, Josie, for looking into it a bit more. It's okay. You forgot about the anti-AI search in your Google search thingy. But one last thing before I go. The Socialism Conference is happening in Chicago from September 4th through the 7th. Hassan is going to be there. I have heard of this conference before. Haymarket Books works with them closely. There's speakers of all sorts for all different sort of topics. There is beautiful change makers going to this event, and I really want to go. The tickets are quite pricey. I think for the low income price, it's like $70. But there's so many things that I could go to. It's on Friday for the first day. I wonder if I have I don't know if I'll have the day off. I can ask for these days off. I'm sure they'll give me the days off if I ask for them. But yeah, it ranges in so many different things. Labor at the margins, Chicago's education and families defending communities against ICE, political education, art and propaganda. Like, there's so many stuff. There's so much stuff here that I can learn from. And I really want to go. And I can vlog it maybe. I don't think I should live stream it. I don't think that would be safe. I don't know. I don't know if Hassan has streamed this before. Maybe not. But I really do want to go. It's really up my alley, and we can watch some videos from last year.
The people that led the
Like one I really want to watch is about worker unionism and how that can transform the United States or America in general. This was last year for the Socialism Conference of 2025. The video is hosted on the Democrat Socialists of America's YouTube channel. Seems important to me. I think it should go. Yeah. It's just, I don't know if I should vlog it or stream it. I think streaming it would be quite difficult, but I think it'd actually be really fun to do so. And I would just be sitting there with you guys listening in. So it wouldn't be super interactive. I would just be staring at like chat. And you guys are so used to me like talking to you guys, doing different things all the time. So I don't know if like it would lose people's attention or it'd be intriguing or you guys would like not be bothered about me not chatting. Because it's just, imagine like me sitting. Okay, it's like this basically. The Moblin setup would be like this. So like I would be pointing the camera to the speakers and I would just be sitting in the chair listening. So let me play the video. It'd literally be like this.
And the last thing I would say just on this is that even in this company that everyone talks about as the most strategic, which I think is basically true, which is Amazon. So Amazon is clearly like destroying us all, and it's destroying the labor market, destroying the economy. So we need to be able to unionize.
And sometimes their audio is not the best, but I will check in to see if basic recording is even allowed or streaming is even allowed, because I am really interested in going to this. I've expressed interest in attending these sort of things in the past, but I have not gone. And I think if you're in Chicago, you should definitely go. I think it's a great opportunity to learn. Nonetheless, like we have to continue to like be educated. And the great thing is that a lot of this is on YouTube. So like if I choose to go to one class or like one seminar, I can still watch the rest on YouTube, and I don't even have to go to learn. It's just I want to like be in that space again, because I feel very lonely and isolated just streaming about this in my room. So yeah, I'm really excited. So it's socialismconference.org. So if you're curious, you should definitely look into it. Also, Haymarket has a lot of good videos on it as well. I just clicked on the same YouTube video. Oh my god, it's the bottom one. I think last year Haymarket actually did streams of the conference, if I'm not wrong. Let me actually check. I think they streamed it. Let me see. I have to scroll back. Yeah, they did stream it. So look at this. They streamed most of them. So if anything, like we can watch a couple of these we can even watch them like right now if you wanted to. Like we could watch any of these anytime. So yeah, they do stream some of them, not all of them, but some of them. So we can look into that in the future as well if I ever need to fill up a day of streams, or like you guys are interested in something. Maybe you want to learn about the border activism stuff, or learn about, I don't know, whatever they have there we can learn about. But yeah, I'm gonna end the stream, guys. I'm really tired. I think it's understandable. I worked today from 10 to 6. I drove home, and then I've been streaming for almost 3.5 hours. So yeah. Josie, thank you so much for deep diving on that stuff. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully you and Carrie can work together on that. I think that'd be so fun. I think Carrie says I think it would be better to work as a Carrie says I think it would be better as a vlog. At the end you can do a reflection on what you learned and what you think you can improve, and less stress having to make sure your setup is working. So they're pretty long, so maybe not another time for the... Oh yeah, no, that was like a theoretical question. I'm like, if you guys want to ever like watch those, we can watch those, but like not today. We're not watching those today. Oh no, we're not watching those today. But yeah, I'll be back on Thursday, guys. I really do want to do the IRL stream. I'll do that maybe on Saturday. On Thursday, I may do another news stream, but then it's just kind of like weird because I already did a news stream on Tuesday, and then I'm used to doing like a fun thing. But if I have Wednesday off, it's like, should I do a fun thing on Thursday and then do another news thing on Friday? I'll figure it out. Either ways, it's just a small detail. It doesn't really matter if I do like a fun thing on Thursday and like a news thing on Friday. It'll work out. But thank you guys for hanging out so long. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you feel better, Carrie, Josie. Hopefully your back feels better. I read your comment about the sunscreen not working. So get well soon. And for all the lurkers, thank you so much for lurking. I'll see you later, guys. Bye-bye. Bye.